Okay, so for the delay, Tammy, it's 7:05 PM and we are going to start this evening's proceedings. As it was brought to my attention, we cannot vote on the previous minutes as part of our quorum tonight was not at the last meeting, so we will not be, there you go, Todd. We will not be able to take a vote on that. We will have to table that to chair that to the next meeting. Moving on. Finance, that's the first meeting of the month. Consent agenda. Anything else either of you have for the consent agenda? Moving on. Look at that. We're already through the whole first section. Visitors, Planning Commission discussion of the town plan. Come on up. Welcome. Turn on the microphone, please. Let's just make sure.
No.
Well, that's great. Come on down. You're the next contestant.
Here's the copies of the.
Is it these?
Yeah. Okay.
It's got to be, oh, we'll take your color because we know you paid more for it. Thank you. Oh, and they're warm too.
See that? Oh, they are one.
I was. All right. You can pull a chair over if you want, Ken. Bring the chairs up. Can you turn the mic on if it's not on, AV lady? AV lady, can you turn your mic on, please?
It's on.
Thank you. She does the AV for the planning commission now, so I don't have to drive up here for 45-minute round trip to turn on the cameras.
Right, if you're gonna, okay, now I feel really awkward, so I'll just sit.
Yeah, I don't know what the.
We'd like each of you to introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
You wanna give that to everybody? What was talked about?
I'm waiting for saving that seat for you, Bill.
I thought that was yours.
Yeah.
This one as well.
I was
so you
about
can
to
see
take it,
what
but
was
here you are.
crossed out.
Yeah.
There you go, Todd. There's another one for you. Killing those troops. All right. Draft, did you draft? Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
Okay, so why don't you introduce yourself? We all know Bill, Ken. I'm sorry, I forgot your first name. Sam, I apologize. And whatever AV lady's name is, Heather, can you please tell us your name for the record?
Yeah, Luke Slamba from the Northwest Regional Planning Commission. I'm helping the Planning Commission with their town plan update. And we've been going through month by month and looking at different chapters of the plan. And so tonight we have the Community Services chapter and the Transportation chapter. And since the Select Board is more involved with those things, we thought it'd be good to do a joint meeting when we review those chapters.
Perfect. And Bill, just for the record, can you state?
Yeah, I'm co-chair of the Bakersfield Planning Commission, which I think we're representing tonight. And I'm a resident of Bakersfield.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so you have presented us some documents to review. Do you mind giving us, like, everybody the high level for it? Thank you, sir. I'll pass that down.
Yeah, so in general, the town plan lays out sort of.
Yeah.
If I may, there's like 4 or 5 extra copies in black and white if you guys out in the audience want to see it.
Yeah, there's a.
Grab some there.
Yeah, I do.
Unintentional positive there.
Yeah, color thing.
I can have, it's darker gray and then.
Go ahead, sir. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. So basically, like at a high level, the town plan outlines the town's goals, but they're updated every 8 years. So the last town plan was 8 years ago. This is an update looking at the priorities and the goals and policies for the town. And this is implemented through zoning and then also through other actions that will be listed in the town plan to implement the plan. Yeah, this is, we did a community outreach too as part of this process. So there's a workshop and a survey. So the plan is also being updated based on the findings from the outreach, and using those as sort of the list of setting the big priorities. So one of those big priorities was cell infrastructure. So that shows up in here. There was also some feedback about sidewalks, so that shows up in the transportation chapter. And vehicle speeds through the village and road maintenance. So those are just some of the updates that we made to those sections. And usually we just go through the plan, and if anyone has any feedback at any point, we can talk about that. So if that works, we could start on the first page here with the goals and policies.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this chapter before was, I think, called utility use facilities and services. We thought it'd be good to give it a sort of friendlier title than that, more approachable. So working title now is community services and spaces. So like the services that are publicly funded and like the buildings like this building too. So there's goals and policies on the first page, and then there's additional policies throughout this chapter that apply to some of the more specific aspects of community services. So yeah, the first page just gives those and then has a brief little overview. Yeah, if there's anything on the
Is there any you want to highlight off of the first page, something that hits close to home, Bill?
No, I'm waiting for the next.
The next page? So,
yeah.
anybody else, anything you want to highlight off the first? No? Okay, we're good. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, then we can go to the next one, water and wastewater section. So, I mean, there are like constraints that have been identified, like with the village not having a wastewater system. It would be, very expensive to have a wastewater system in the village. So this section sort of manages that, saying that it might be something that the town would look at long term, but it is very expensive. But understanding there might be some sort of new solutions that could arise to provide shared septic services or new technologies. So it sort of remains open to that. And then with the water system, when we were talking about the natural resources chapter, we were talking about how there's some problems with private wells, sort of east of the village in areas that are close to the water system. So there might be an opportunity to connect additional properties to the water system to fix those issues with wells. So
Drying, the wells drying up type thing.
yeah,
Private wells. Your well.
It's pretty much hit and miss. There's a lot of people that have a truck in water, and that's only get by with having a water truck in. Mine, I have two wells, one that's 1,000 feet, the other one like 750, and we're actually good as long as we're conservative and go back and forth. But that's not always a given, like how long do they last? We've been there 25 years, but it's very hit and miss up and down this road, starting from almost the beginning of this road. Once you get on the dirt road, like in Terry Yarrow's area has something on water issues too. So it's like hit and miss all the way down. So it would be nice if some of us that are in that area could get access to it, or some way we could even fill up tanks without having to.
No, we don't. It's not. And the problem is connecting, it's the challenge. I don't want to put anything, the challenge is connecting down to. I'm not saying it's, obviously this is just the high level. We're not here to, we're here to receive.
So I'm gonna have a comment related to that.
Okay.
So first I have 3 comments on this particular page.
Mhm.
On policy number 2 under wastewater, water and wastewater. I wondered if there's been any consideration relative to some sort of land for a leach field where the academy, the elementary school, and the fire department exist. First of all, there's a very large plot of land there, and that could be a good leach field and then left as a park afterwards. And it could service the academy, which is an important feature given that it's trying to be redeveloped, and the school, which has obviously some need over the course of time to preserve some sort of wastewater management. And then fire department could potentially expand, but they own the land that's adjacent to that. So I just wanted to throw that out. And what I do is I give all of my comments that I share here in writing to our consultant who provides actual opportunity to change or edit the document that's here.
If I could, are we talking the land in front of Brigham Academy
Yeah.
and to the left
It's
of?
got the maples on the left and right side of it.
Yeah.
It's a really nice park, and I think it's nice to keep it that way. But as a leach field, it would actually be preserved because of that, because you couldn't develop on top of a leach field. But that might be something to consider, because I know that that's been an issue relative to the sale of that and development of the the Brigham Academy.
I know they did a lot of testing on it. I know you weren't on the board. I don't know if you're up on it. Hey, Todd, remember when they pulled all the cores out of there and all the testing for that? I don't think it came back anything. I wish Lance was here tonight. Right in front of Brigham, facing Main Street, that whole, that's what I thought we we're talking about. Okay.
If it was mutually beneficial to all parties, I think everybody would benefit from it.
I agree.
Agreed. Second one was the comment in the second paragraph underwater says a protective zone, the aquifer overlay district
Mhm.
around the source of the municipal drinking water supply. This zone is consistent with the source water protection area identified by the State of Vermont Drinking Water Supply Division. I'd just like to make sure that that is accurate.
Mhm.
Because every source water protection area that I've seen in A&R mapping is usually round as opposed to in the shape of property. And our overlay district is in the shape of property. So I just thought we should verify that that's the case. Matt knew it. Yeah, okay. And then, so the other is the last sentence of the page. The town should consider opportunities to expand access to the public water system. That's where I said we might be able to think about this. Rather than saying expand access to the public water system that we have, maybe we should consider another public water access system. For example, if we were to drill another town well, someplace that could serve other communities
Mhm.
without tapping into the one that's down here on Kings Hill Road, that might be better based on that 501c3 concern you expressed, as well as the fact that we have to verify that that system on Kings Hill can actually take on more customers.
That's true, because, I don't know what we have coming in and how that well's running.
120,000 gallons per storm.
That fill-
From there, fills the river.
Is that full up there, the reservoir you did? Yeah. 120,000 gallons, that's something.
90 in one, I think, 30 in the other.
I wonder if we-
Storage in the new world,
Yeah.
30,000 in the old,
I wonder when the last time we did a GPM test on that was though.
when I was fire chief in the 80s.
I would be curious to see what the variance is, if it's still delivering as it would.
Located up on Kings Hill versus down here. It was all wooden pipe that used to come down through Maynard's Meadow back into the village. So there is a well, but that's capped off that was the tap or was used. I don't even use on Kings Hill. And I'm not sure, again, it was a north, south, east, west village here. Years ago, one of those other villages, they had a well that was located.
It used to be years ago, you used to go to the fire department and bring your own tank and so on, but then the fire department told me no.
Became a liability for
Yes.
us. If we delivered water that wasn't good and somebody drank it, yeah.
With a 1,000-foot well, you'd hope that you'd have some kind of water. Build it
It's
out with
something
some
that could be
pressure.
looked at, Bill. I think if you set up another pump house, you'd have to do the piping. It's something that could be looked at down the road.
And I'm wondering what, I would assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't been here that long, or well, I haven't been here since the last well was tapped and built. I would assume everyone who hooks up on it shares the expense of the drilling of the well and the plumbing and all right. So every new hookup is
The
paying
village, I pay, what is it, $280 for the water system,
for the hookup or just the,
for water usage for the year.
Is that?
And then they took, but the whole water system itself was bonded
yeah,
through the 501(c)(3), which
Right.
made payments. So when the payments were much higher, when we first had the new water system, and now that we've paid it kind of off, it's.
the cost has come
Right.
down with it. Well, that's nice to hear that.
Yeah.
It's not usual, right? Cost lowering is.
And it was looked at. I remember Sam Gates, when he was in charge of the water system, the 501(c), they did look at expanding it, but it wasn't feasible for the amount of water that we had.
Okay.
Because they looked at going down 36 and they looked at going further up the East Bakersfield Road at the time.
Probably a way to find out what the average household uses, maybe, and.
Yeah.
divide that by 100.
Yeah.
I have to see,
Again,
I
it's
would
go
love to know.
whatever the water board meeting is, it's a separate, it's the fire district #1. So it would be their meeting to sit in on and ask those questions. from
Their
them.
speaker was here
Yep.
for our last meeting, he was gonna do some.
I'd love to know from when the last time we did a test on the amount of GPM we're getting versus now to see if that well's starting to go low too. If it's not producing like, especially if it's from the 80s, that would be a good gauge. This is to see what we're getting out of it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, potable water is only getting more scarce.
Yeah.
We
no,
are-
It's $400.
So what do you do? Have them pour it down into the well?
Yeah,
How do-
yeah,
Yeah.
like commercial.
Like breeze flow?
Yeah.
Refill your well.
That's literally what they do.
You try to frack that well yet?
Yeah.
Just curious.
Mhm.
No.
Well, that's all I have on that
Thank you,
page.
sir.
Leach field, can we
Mhm.
make it not an insect and actually LEACH?
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
Just fixing the spelling of
Yeah.
fleet.
No neutron.
Early medicine.
Yeah, we don't want a field full of leeches in the village.
Tourism.
All right, yeah, so the next page is wastewater system. Yeah, like I said, it just says in the future that might be feasible. And then the solid waste section, so at a previous planning commission meeting, we talked about problems with like junk vehicles being stored at certain properties. So I thought it'd be good to add a section to sort of address that and say that there's some things the town could do. They could collaborate with the solid waste district or like local scrap companies to see if they can coordinate between property owners and these companies to coordinate collection of, scrap vehicles or junk at properties in a way that's mutually beneficial for those companies and for the town and the property owners.
Now, how would that coincide with the state's policies regarding like what they quote as a junkyard or too many big, I think it's, what is it?
5 unregistered vehicles. I
5
think.
unregistered, yeah.
And agricultural properties are exempt. But I think a key aspect is, first of all, I just want to say that having it in the policies for solid waste, and it's mentioned here twice on this page, I think is important because nothing reduces property values more than junk between where you come from and where you want to go. And if you see junk on the way to where you want to go, you're not going to go there. So it's important to the property values of this town to try to minimize that. Second is that it shouldn't be just as it's stated in the last sentence of the page, coordinated for scrap businesses and that the neighboring communities and also in the policies that it collaborates with other partners to establish programs. We need to focus on the words help residents. If we can show them that disposing of junk vehicles can provide them thousands of dollars in scrap money, scrap metal value, that is an incentive that a lot of people don't understand. I took a trailer full of scrap metal just off of my little property here in Bakersfield and got hundreds of dollars for it. People need to understand that those junk vehicles can be perhaps 1,000 or many thousands of dollars, depending on how many there are. And we can work with businesses and the Northwest Solid Waste District to eliminate those. And this would be a huge benefit to these people too. We need to share in our planning that it's not just benefiting the town writ large, more businesses, but the residents too.
Thank you.
I
And the-
agree with-
I'm sorry.
As a realtor, would the buyers don't want to live across from or have to pass somebody's junked vehicles.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's a problem that we can work together. So I really appreciate the way you've described this in this particular section as an issue for partnerships. But I want to make sure that we don't forget the residents themselves.
Mhm.
And then I wanted to just look at the first part of the second paragraph where it says sewage disposal is an issue for the town hall, historical society, and the congregational church. I'm wondering if we can't add a word in there, sewage disposal is an issue for everyone in town, including the town hall, because it gives the impression that those are the only places
Mhm.
that have a concern when it really is an important concern across the board.
Did you get any communications from Linda?
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that?
I got a note about the historical society, how, the issues that were described were from an old version of the plan. And it sounds like maybe that's not accurate anymore with their issues with their sewage system, so that part can be removed. I think it talks about that, yeah, more later on in the chapter.
That's all I have on page 19.
Okay, yeah, then we can move on.
You possibly, are we using the right language to support future grants that would help us explore expanding water, explore expanding septic?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, the town plan definitely talks about like the need for all of these things, so that's something you could reference in your grant applications, like this has been identified as a major issue in the town plan, and this grant would help us accomplish our planning goals.
Okay.
Yeah, the next section, fire emergency and police services. Not a lot of updates to this section. I wasn't sure if the equipment that it talks about is still
Yeah,
accurate.
I
Update to the
thought-
SUV, it should be a 2022.
yeah, I'm glad the chief is here. He knows that one that says 2006 rescue SUV, that should be a 2022.
Okay.
And then I wanted to note that despite the fact that we might, I don't think we actually do, have 28 volunteer
I don't
members.
think we do. I was just gonna say I'd call it 18.
Chief and I know that if we get 10 people there for a meeting or even 6 people to a call, that's a successful day. To state that
50% of
at
your-
28, it gives the impression to the community that we got people coming out our ears and we don't. We don't have enough people. So I would say I don't know what you can do there, but I think it would be more appropriate to say there are approximately 12 to 15 active
Yeah.
volunteer members.
That's a good one, yeah.
Okay. And would you say that like recruitment for the fire department is like an issue that should be mentioned?
Yeah, I'd love to mention recruitment.
Anywhere the recruitment issue throughout the United States is this
It
way right
is.
now, especially in the volunteer services.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I can add something on that.
And then on the second paragraph down, it talks about the walk-in emergency clinics at Notch in Enosburg and St. Albans. Are they actually walk-in emergency
Mhm.
clinics?
Yep.
Okay, so people can go in there if they've got some first aid need and get
We
help.
transport from them from the.
I just didn't know that. Yeah, I thought they
Where the
were.
ambulances,
Yeah. No, they don't. We transport a lot of people from, in our
Is it, when you say emergency,
Enosburg, yeah.
the walk-in, is that that isn't the doctor's office, that's. the
Like
one
an
next to
urgent
it?
care, basically.
Yeah, it's the,
Yeah.
the one that's.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, St. Albans, I know,
St.
I'm wondering
Albans.
about Enosburg.
Yep.
That's the
No,
one that because I go to Enosburg,
too.
and it's all doctor's offices.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is right next to it is the clinic, but I thought that was. for
This is the
people
one
with
right before the
substance problem.
Jolly store on the right, the last one on the corner.
Yeah,
That's the Notch.
that's where I go.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that they took in walk-ins.
Yeah, they do.
I thought everything was by appointment.
They do both.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
It's excellent.
Yeah, it's 7 to 5, 7 to 7.
I also am a
Yeah.
patient over there.
yeah, you might check into that because
Yeah,
I can tell you that the door doesn't open before 8.
No,
no, you.
I get there at 8 and it's not open yet.
No.
And during hours.
Right.
yes.
Do you have to
there
be a
is
patient of the Notch to go there? Do you have to be a patient of the Notch?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know.
Just be careful that we don't overstate what
Right.
those services are there, because I don't know. I think of a walk-in clinic as you fell and need stitches.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the case.
I think the urgent care down in St. Albans is
Yeah.
what I would call an urgent care. You roll in, hey, I need to see a doctor. I have, I don't feel good. I think I've cut myself
It's
something.
limited.
Right.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll just change emergency to urgent care
Yeah.
clinic.
Just ask. I call and ask because I honestly, just like Bill, I'm a
Yeah.
patient there and they don't say, come on, when you're sick, you call and you're like, hey, I need to see one. And they're like, oh, come on over. No, it's like, I got an appointment open 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Right.
We'll fit you in.
I've been there probably 100 times in 20 years and never seen anybody walk in with urgent needs. It's always
People with
folks that have
appointments.
appointments.
Say if someone's critically hurt, I'm pretty sure they won't know.
They were not
that
gonna turn
office
you
will
away.
turn you away. I'm just saying the verbiage makes me.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be portrayed as a kind of doc in the box when I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Dock in a box.
Doc in a box, great term,
Okay.
Level
great term.
is not a dock in a box.
Excuse my vernacular.
I love it.
No, that's funny.
Okay, yeah, I can verify that and update that if necessary. Yeah, and then there's a section on the mutual aid agreement, the emergency management plan, and the police.
Mutual aid is an international mutual aid system. So we have 10 departments out of Canada that belong to that as well.
Okay,
That's very.
yeah, I can mention.
Called the Franklin County International Firefighters Association.
And I assume you help each other on calls if need be. Is that the deal?
The guys from Swanton, Franklin, those guys go across the border a lot and they reciprocate coming this way. There's 22 departments, I think, now that total that belong.
Wow.
It's pretty nice.
NIMS system.
Is this the place to mention the impoverished state of your current communications?
That's an ongoing thing since 9/11. That's the frustrating part. We haven't gained anything in our communications, even though we know on 9/11 we didn't have great. Nothing has really been done to improve it at this point. And it does go down to the cell towers. It goes to all those things, but it's not just one thing.
Right.
It's really the state stepping up and saying, we're going to support this.
Mhm.
And that's not happening right now.
You know, one other thought I had about this is that the survey that we did pointed out that fire emergency services were among the highest rated municipal services. We might want to mention that because
Yeah, yeah.
we tend to talk about things that people think are problems. Fire and emergency services in Bakersfield are considered to be one of its real high standards, and
Yeah,
it would be
but-
useful.
Someone to be there.
Yeah,
Right.
and it helps for recruiting as well. If people know that they're going to volunteer for a service that's well respected, they're more likely to do so.
Okay, then
Okay,
that
so
makes
then
more
they
sense
think
because it isn't
that
the
makes
notch. I
more
didn't think it
sense.
was.
Not really.
So
Might
that's,
just be a
that's the one across from
different-
Hannaford.
Here, they were.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't think it was the notch.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like slum.
I thought it was not too.
When you say slumber, when it's an urgent care, you're
Yep.
beating it as fast as you can. Somewhere in Enosburg, and you don't have the traffic, you don't have.
Yeah.
You know?
Distance, the distance will be better. Okay,
You know? Sure, but
telecommunications.
Yeah, so telecommunications is the next page. This was a big one, big concern that's come up a lot in the outreach and just in the meeting. So I added a lot to this section. Some feedback from the survey. 74% of residents rated it as poor. It was the lowest rated public service. And just sort of highlighting the need for cell service and why it's an issue, and some ways that the town could go about working with providers or tower companies and interested landowners to try to get more cell towers in appropriate locations that would provide the best coverage. And the idea here is that by putting it in the town plan, you can signal to cell providers that there's a lot of public support for a cell tower if they are interested in building one here, versus not having that information and not knowing if there's going to be a lot of local opposition. By putting it in the plan, documenting it as a need that people recognize, then hopefully that will signal to those companies that the people here support it. So
I think
Amber was able to finally get a hold of somebody, get the hotspot open back here.
Okay, good.
So,
But now it requires a password.
that's okay.
We'll get that.
Yeah, get it done and sweet.
Cool.
You know,
Good.
you say sweet until you get the time, at least.
Worth it. It's worth it.
We have this.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
so. I think with me, I don't think, and I could be wrong. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't cover every area of Bakersfield. I don't think any of Bakersfield has cell service.
Yeah, that's why I felt like down at the bottom paragraph where it says roughly 85% of residents have access to internet. I'm not sure we want to say that when we're actually describing in all the rest of the page there that there's not adequate broadband. I don't know what the federal definition of
Oh,
Broadband.
internet access
forget it's.
is, but I think it's got to be pretty bad if we meet that.
yeah, it's like a certain upload and download.
It's just an upload and download speed. It was 3. They moved it to 10. I thought they were going to move it to 50, but I'm not sure.
I just think
What
it's
a-
bad for us to say that 85% of the town is
DSL.
got broadband, because our survey indicates that
Some
nobody,
sort of internet service.
yeah.
Well, I think in the survey, cell service was a big issue. Broadband, like home internet service, was less of a.
Fidium's kind of addressed that now. It's all throughout. You can get Fidium all through the town, all through the town. Now, what happened was they would only install Fidium in the 05441 area code, which is great, who also happen to already have Comcast. So it didn't help the people who were not served or underserved.
South side of town of an 05448, which creates a.
Has it hit yet or no? In
No, I'm just
05448?
saying that you, and you have East Bakersfield's 05450 because they're on it.
They finally hit
So that's what
05450.
I'm saying. It's
I
a
don't know
mixture
about
of
the
zip
other one.
codes. I'm not sure.
Oh, I was literally thought.
Which is part of the problem, because now, I believe you sent that letter out, they have acknowledged they are removing the infrastructure, the copper infrastructure. They told us they were, there was all this, we're gonna do it, but actually, it's kind of, they are now like, really, it's in writing, we're gonna start pulling.
East Fairfield, I think, was June, and Enosburg is sooner.
So it's really imperative people know that if something that happens, they're not gonna be able to, if they're without power.
We can't make a phone call.
Yeah.
So.
That's why we always.
town.
The years that is running possibly, unless you guys have a power outage, do you guys have a generated backup?
Not here.
Not here.
Out of school, so that's under the emergency services, I think on the page before.
Fire department
The
does.
town maintains the school's generator, the school provides the fuel. So we just had that's one of the things I forwarded you, Tammy, by the way. We just had
That.
I know, but the school,
And I thought
That's tough.
we were gonna put it at the schools. I'm not sure if they decided to or didn't.
That would
Because
be-
there was some
that's what generates.
controversy about it being at the school, they didn't put people in their or cars that could be weirdos, you know, like me.
Well, we've seen some strange cars sitting down outside the library and kinds of stuff, so, but yes, I hear you.
They could think of stalking their kids for crying out
Yeah,
loud.
no, it's not really a good idea to have just anybody pull up because there's cell phone service, there's internet, but that is the thing. The school is the only place that we have generated. Do we, don't we have one at the pump house too?
Yes, the water
Well-
system has an emergency generator.
I don't think we want a bunch of people sitting around the water pump, but I've gotten to know, so there you go. But anyhow, seriously, the currently large areas of Bakersfield does not have access to cell service. I think that should just say currently Bakersfield does not have access to cell service,
Yeah,
because I don't believe there's any.
Certain areas in Bakersfield, you do have cell service.
Right.
I can give you a list of like 8 places.
yeah,
I know
maybe
that-
I'll just say like a large majority.
It just,
But that's because the owners of the home have their Wi-Fi unpassword in a lot of scenarios. Because I can pick up at Jarvis's phone, but what I'm picking up is Wi-Fi calling. I'm not picking up cell service at
this,
somebody's house.
yeah, this is like on the back road
Yeah.
where there's no houses.
Really?
Top of that.
Yes, it's back there.
So there's,
You're getting it from JP or Richford.
My phone like this. On speakerphone.
If you're very high enough, you can catch us.
It's cool. So then I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I concede. I concede I'm wrong. Some areas do apparently have.
Most.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I'll change it to most or like a large majority of
It changed that
Bakersfield.
85%.
I think
to
large
large
majority excellence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I agree.
Yeah, it's not like you're getting 4 bar.
Actually, there's right top.
Yeah, they always.
You sit up there, you get full service.
That's cool. So let's turn back to the meeting, guys. Let's turn it back in. So a lot of pages. So there, we have a lot of pages to cover. Can we focus in on the meeting or take the conversation outside if you don't mind?
So
Thanks.
yeah, I did have a couple of other comments on the page. First, under the policies,
Yeah.
while I like the 2 that are there, I think it would be useful to reiterate what we describe elsewhere in our plan. That we do want to manage the location of these services so that they do not impair the enjoyment of specific scenic views in the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some views of this town. I can tell you the one I always think of is when you're coming from East Fairfield towards Bakersfield and you see the Cold Hollow Mountains in front of you,
Mhm.
you do not want cell towers or wind turbines up on those hills. And so I think it might be useful to reiterate our concern that where we want telecommunications and internet services here, we also don't want to lose the things that draw people here,
yeah,
the rural character and the natural beauty.
yeah, and that's something we still have to do in the plan. Ideally, we're gonna have a map of where these specific scenic views are that we want protected.
Mhm.
Because otherwise just putting scenic views in the plan could be interpreted
Is that-
a lot of ways. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we don't, yeah, and putting.
Not
that kind of
every
language-
kitchen window.
Yeah,
Right.
it kind of scared.
I think
scared
the other
people.
thing is, what's the Main Street? One end to the other. What's the length?
Oh, I'm not sure.
How many miles do you think that is, Al?
What's that?
Our main drag, how wide is our town about? Do you know? You drive it all the time.
Boston Post routes. gotta be-
Just 108. Town edge to town edge.
Village.
Anybody guess?
It's about a mile and a half to 2 miles.
That's it, just 2 miles the entire,
In the-
because, the key is if we want less towers, we gotta go higher with them so that we may only need 2 to
Right,
end it.
that
And then you can
height
have,
works in the mountains.
yeah,
When you're in the mountains, you want height, and higher on the terrain you go, the better you're going to be.
yeah, so that we're not putting it in the middle of the view. Maybe
Right.
we bracket it or something or try to
Well-
figure it, but yeah.
We're going to have a lot of,
And where you can
frankly,
get certain-
people that just don't want it next to their home
Oh, yeah,
and will pay for their lawyers to drag it out for years before it
think-
gets done.
I think we all, that's, we've seen that at least once or
Right.
twice, right?
And then on the first paragraph, it talks about a top priority consider over the next 8 years.
Mhm.
I would like to reduce that number from 8 to over the next few years.
Yeah, it's the last, on the
It's
first.
the very last.
It's when we want to try to get it
First
addressed.
paragraph under self-service is that it can't be 8
Years
years.
is too far out.
Yeah,
We're talking, they're pulling the copper out now, so,
Right.
and we're not talking next year either. You can't spin on a dime, but I agree with you, Bill.
Takes to get these things.
How about we just,
3 to 5,
how about we take that off?
3 to 4 years.
That preposition
Take it.
phrase
Yeah, we don't have to quantify it.
is a top priority.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
we-
simplest way to do
because
it.
that was the way it was asked in the survey, because the town plan is an 8-year planning cycle, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
have to wait
Right.
8 years to do that.
Perfect solution.
All right. Anything else on this page, 21?
There was two typos.
Typos? See, you beat it out of me with your notes, and now finally someone else is stepping up. What are the typos?
So,
Identify A sites.
Yeah.
Is that on?
That is
by
one.
A sites, yes, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
just at the almost end of that sentence, to bring more cell service, just take out the more, because we have no.
Yeah. we don't have-
Bring some. Any.
Okay.
Yeah, like we have enough.
Thank you.
We won't.
Okay, next page, community spaces and facilities, so. There's a map here of just all the public places, public. Facilities in Bakersfield in the village. I don't think there's any public facilities outside of the village, so it just focuses in on that area.
Would we consider the
Um,
town trail a public facility?
I would consider it some community space. Also, I don't know if,
So it is mentioned a little bit later
Okay.
as a particular,
I don't know if
Okay.
you really consider it, it is kind of a community space, but it isn't. It would be, Rosalie's, Lucas Foundation down.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
been-
that's
I don't-
actually
we'll
not
probably
bad.
Put
Yeah.
that up there.
I don't know if you know what we're referring to here,
Yeah, I
the
think.
Williams Foundation.
Further down the road past the town hall.
Yeah,
Mhm.
We Going to.
I think that deserves some specific mentioning. Yeah.
Yeah, we could add original sort of.
I just have a kind of typo. It says in the bottom paragraph under the green box,
Mhm.
it says the volunteer fire department garage.
Mhm.
It should just be volunteer fire department,
Okay,
because the town garage, there is an old volunteer fire department garage, but I don't think we want to even draw attention to that.
The town garages, basically.
And I know this sounds weird, but what about and this is very strange, but what about the waste district piece? That's the old town, the old fire department, the old garage.
That's town garage number 2.
Yeah,
Technically.
you could say that the town garages.
Yeah, town garage. I just see the one, so that's what I
Yeah,
was saying.
yeah.
Do we
should
want
be-
to
Yeah,
add it out?
yeah, I think I mentioned that, but it's not on the map,
It
so.
really is like,
It's down where.
right now they're using it for the solid waste to be removed.
Mhm.
Or-
Someone said the Methodist Church is now privately owned, is that?
I haven't heard,
Yeah.
there's something been talked about that, but I heard.
Yeah, I noted that later on, there's really only one church in town now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily a community space.
Methodist Church? Is that the one that's still?
Well, that belongs to a private party now,
Right, he was gonna do some historic.
some sort of museum, but he's the only patron.
Yeah, I saw him open it up last year for the first time. I drove by, they were pulling stuff out. I'm
Yeah.
hoping,
I can't remember.
We're gonna
when he had-
start.
It's a nice building.
yeah, he was gonna build a museum.
Okay, so it's a museum now, it's not just like a private, okay, so I could,
Yeah, I think it's mentioned in here.
Okay.
okay. So yeah, the next few pages just talk about each of these places. There's a section on the town hall, town garage, Brigham Academy, talking about the future plans for that building.
And-
And the library, I updated the statistics in the library section.
And we asked Luke to try to get as many pictures of Bakersfield people and Bakersfield events
Mhm.
to color a lot of the plan. Because we want people to read the plan, not just for us to write the plan.
Yeah, and if anyone has any pictures that they want to send to me,
Yeah, these are great.
yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah, a lot of these are from the old plan, but they're still relevant, so I kept them.
Yeah, as long as they're not cars from the twenties.
Right.
Yeah, post office, historical society, and the recreation fields at the school and the community trails.
Do we have one in the park?
I have plenty of the park.
Be nice to drop one in the park, you know, especially with the memorial and the.
Or whether
park.
the.
Actually, yeah, that is one of our,
The town common.
they call it
I
the town
apologize, the
common.
Town common.
It is one of the more striking features of the town, especially in the holidays.
Yeah.
The folks that do that every Christmas, it's really wonderful.
It is. They're out there in the bad weather, putting all those little trees up and all.
Yeah. And we had a lot of bad weather this winter.
Trees.
I wanted to add. I have
Town garage.
for the town garage and the town hall for some to support future funding of rehabbing and renovating and delayed maintenance and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
I don't know if you wanted me to read it, but
Oh, yeah, do you have like specific language to add?
yeah, but it's a lot.
Okay, I mean, you could also just like give me that and I could put it in there if you.
All right. So basically, we wanted to point out that the town garage is pretty vanilla in its statement, and it's suffering from suffering from a lot, actually.
Yeah, because I think it says it has adequate facilities.
Both
so,
garages. Both
uh,
garages.
That might not be accurate
Yeah.
anymore.
Not
Okay.
remotely.
Yeah, if you have updated language for that, that would be super helpful. I can put that in.
I don't know if we really want to put no suitable washrooms.
It's definitely not.
I really want to put that.
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm not sure we want that in the book.
Yeah, I'll cross that out.
That may not be something we want to
You
get
don't
out
want
there.
to say no major
Yeah.
improvements either. John, I
Next thing, well, I'm so sorry, sir.
think you want to say no major improvements either, because
To the
we
town
are
garage?
planning to do.
Yeah, we are planning to rehab, hopefully in the near future, the town garage, put forward some,
Keeping
Go
our
forward
open for
some-
grants and different things.
yeah, frankly, needs to be rebuilt. The place is in dire need of a facelift.
Improve the facilities.
Yep.
Bring it up to speed to the 18th century.
You're talking about.
So then back on the floor.
Garage, we're talking, you know,
So that's also true of the library too. The trustees are definitely working on plans
Right.
for expansion
Good point, yeah,
of the library and
Okay.
I saw your
good point.
grants.
handicap accessibility. Well, so that would expand the building out back of where it's now.
Much as they can, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, right. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, 'cause they don't-
Same here, there's ADA.
It's grandfathered in under the old rules, but as soon as you make
Grandfathered,
the improvements to that
anything.
building, they gotta come up. So it's gonna require
yeah,
building expansion to do that and not lose half the building of books.
yeah.
Okay,
Great, yeah, that's super good to know. I can update the library section.
education.
Please. We're up to what, education, page 26?
Yep,
Can we,
Go ahead.
I got one thing on page 25.
the churches and cemeteries.
Yeah. I feel like that church right there
Yeah.
and the cemetery commission that actually meets there and the cemetery itself are really high value elements of this town. And we might want to see if there's a policy that we could support these people. They do a lot. For example, they have a supper at a lot of events throughout the year. They bring a place of worship. If you're, I mean, we say it here that you can actually be buried there if you live here. But maybe just say something that the town of Bakersfield strongly supports the fine efforts of our churches and the Bakersfield cemeteries. Just to share, because it describes it, but it doesn't describe a policy, and I
Yeah.
think the policy is we support them.
Okay, yeah, I can add that. under
Thanks.
Policies.
I like when there's something good that we share, that we really like it.
No, we do. So just bring it up to them. Correct. Good catch, though. No, it's a good catch.
That's good. Yeah, they're a really good program. Yeah.
Congregational.
You mentioned that?
Oh,
What, did
wow.
they have an elevator?
The HWA is using the building.
Right.
Yeah, that downstairs over there is a really nice space. Good.
And it's a non-denominational church now. I mean, they don't, you can't say it's Methodist, it's not Catholic, it's all,
If there's a community center,
that's it. No, I agree with you, Bill.
One change on page 25 where it says the cemetery commission manages the Maple Grove Cemetery and Park. This town maintains the park.
Okay. Manages the Maple
Yep.
Grove Cemetery.
Period.
Okay, yeah, I'll remove the park.
That was a change.
Actually, they
You probably
maintain-
wrote this. Or
What's the other cemetery they maintain? There's two of them. Like,
There's one up on East Bakersfield.
yeah, what's the name of that cemetery?
it's the Catholic.
No, it's, what the heck is his name?
It's listed here. It's
Oh.
it's in the last paragraph.
Okay, it's
second
in the last
cemetery.
one,
Cook, it's Cook.
Yes.
The Cook Cemetery.
So that might be good to add the name, a
Yeah.
second cemetery.
Sorry, that's a,
yeah. Not
Cemetery.
too- yeah, please.
Because there's a lot of people there that probably would like it if they knew it was a named place,
Right.
not
there's
just.
not,
They do pay for the maintenance of.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
Very nice.
technically, we all pay for the maintenance, but yeah, I get you.
People are dying to get in there.
Yeah, I hear.
And it's still free.
I don't get many
You can get it
opportunities to
for your-
use that joke.
Oh, it's nice though. Talking about.
Education.
All right, yeah, so education and childcare is next. The childcare section, I updated some of the statistics there. That show the need for childcare throughout the state and the county. And yeah, according to the state database, there's no other childcare providers in Bakersfield other than the ones that are run out of the school.
Mhm.
So I just mentioned that and what the capacity is there.
What is the Lance's wife?
Sharon,
Aaron. They run an after school, what was that program? I can't think of the name of it
Right.
now.
I think it's called the after school program.
It's like an after school program, yeah, and we are custodials of the funds for now the town. It is separate and it is an after school program. God darn it, I can't think of it. I wish Lance was here now.
Leaps.
What is it? Is that what they call it? Leap?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's right.
So I have an issue with the second paragraph.
Uh-huh.
Because the town is not responsible. That is the supervisory union's responsibility. We have technically no say in that from a
Mhm.
town management perspective. That makes sense? Or am I reading it wrong? That's, when I'm looking at it, the select board has nothing to do with the school system. It has nothing to do with the budget.
I think you're reading it right, and sadly, I'm also.
But I'm not
thinking-
disagreeing with what it's saying. I'm just
Right.
saying, how do we put this in there that it's a supervisory union's
We Just
responsibility?
take out the town's
That's what I'm saying.
responsibility and put in the
I
supervisor.
think it's in the town's interest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it says that it is in the town's best interest, so you can just take out the responsibility
Right.
Yeah.
part. But here's the thought that I wanted to add to the chief's point there, is that is there a need for us to recognize that right now there's a very serious move to consolidate schools?
Yeah, it's
No.
And
concerning.
that we should
Yep.
put in this plan that we are looking toward the future where potentially the Bakersfield Elementary and Middle School is consolidated. And I mean, maybe that becomes a very large daycare center.
We don't own the building.
But no, I'm not saying,
So
But
that's the
the
problem.
point is that if that school is consolidated into another district, the
Yeah.
building may be left abandoned. And that might be something to think about. They've abandoned Brigham Academy, they could abandon BEMS. And so I just think it's something to take a note of, that
No, I agree.
the current state consolidation of schools may impact the Bakersfield Elementary and Middle School, and that the town needs to be aware of what changes occur and be prepared to manage through that. Because some people will consider it a crisis.
It
A
could
lot of
be
people
elderly.
come to a town like this because they like a community school. If the community school goes away, we could see our census go from 1,300 to 1,000.
So monitor and support.
We just need to monitor and be prepared for changes in the
I think you're
Vermont
right, it's gonna
school
happen.
system.
Mhm.
The concern is what
Yeah.
union they're gonna roll us into, because they keep saying Chittenden.
Yeah.
And that is a very high dollar community to roll us into.
It's the elephant in Vermont is
Mhm.
that Chittenden County steers the whole state.
Yeah.
We're lucky to be in Franklin County because it's equally powerful compared to most other counties.
They're saying they would send our kids to,
They're saying that we would become a part, the potential is, one of the potentials they're talking about is us being merged with Chittenden County as a new supervisory union.
we're not.
They're consolidating they're talking about
Well, they were dividing
consolidation.
it, the northern half of the state would be
Yeah.
western and eastern.
They
basically.
want to get it down to a handful.
They want to get down to 5, yep,
You know,
yep, yeah.
Yeah, we will lose to Franklin County and we become a larger supervisory, whatever term they want, yeah, union. And I can speak for many a person, but I'll speak for myself. I want to go the other way. I want out. I don't want to go deeper. I want to find the exit ramp and put us back the way we were. That's what I say. I'll speak for myself, but I know there's a lot of people who agree with me. Where's the exit?
Just as a town can put letters of support for what we believe is best for Bakersfield.
We did reach out to our representative being James Gregoire, and he has given us some advice regarding potentially if we wanted to as a town to splinter off. However, his exact comments to me were, you won't be alone. You'll have to go to another supervisory and you won't be by yourself again. And I know we have kind of like a soapbox thing here, but without me getting too deep on a soapbox, the idea of this thing was not to increase the administrative costs of the schools, it was to reduce it, and instead we've gone the other way.
Yeah,
So,
and unfortunately, our enrollment is decreasing, not increasing.
right, but the overhead for the administrators are getting
Yeah.
higher and higher as we keep
Yeah.
adding more to
No,
it, so.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that would be good to recognize as something
Yep.
the town might have to deal with. I can add
Mhm.
that to the section where
Please.
it's about the school.
Please, and thank you.
All right, anything else on education before I move on to the transportation chapter? All right. Yes.
So, I'm sorry. So the childcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a sentence that childcare in Bakersfield is provided by the early childhood program at the elementary school with a capacity of 20 children and the Bakersfield after school program, which has a capacity of 25.
Mhm.
Should we characterize that as sufficient, underused, or over capacity? Because all it really describes are how many, but I'd like to better understand, is 20 too few, is 25 too few, or is it just right? So maybe if there's a way to look at what our child care
Would be Lance's wife.
census
Yeah,
is.
that would definitely be.
I don't know, there may be a license issue there as far as the number of, people they can, with the number of staff they have, that may be where the 25
It's
comes.
just that I've heard that throughout the whole state, childcare is a huge
No,
need.
it is.
And if you don't have enough in your town, then that means people have to go to another town to get it. Where if instead our town were to be a supplier of childcare, then that's new, I hate to call it business, but
Right.
it is. But it's also important to parents can work and that helps them afford homes.
I wonder if we, and this is just me, do we even want to put the capacity there? Because it could vary and we're.
Or maybe if there's, I think some of the numbers that might be available in the state might be able to describe what the needs for childcare are. And if it's greater than 45, which is what this indicates is the
Mhm.
capacity, then it could share then that we have more students in need, children in need
Yep.
of care versus what we can provide. And for that reason, people are going outside.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's all I had for that.
No, I would agree with that.
We'd be able to reach out to the school and
I
ask.
can reach out to Sharon.
Yeah.
Sharon really
Yeah.
was kind of heading up this initiative.
Sure.
And it really is to cover the gaps. after school holidays, things like that, that people need help.
Like school and school's out this week.
Yes, sir.
So as a parent of young children, and utilizing some of these services, the school program only starts at 3, so you're leaving out
Right.
any families with kids younger than
Infants,
this.
yeah.
You know, and finding it is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I would say is that, shoot, I lost it.
That's all right. You're, as long as we're open, you can talk.
Oh, it'll come back to me, Bill, I'll get with you.
But you're right, they're shutting down some places, which makes it harder to find a place to take an infant or.
I was gonna say, the school program is only part-time, it's 8 to 1, so if you're talking about supporting working parents, it's nearly impossible for some.
Yeah.
We would have to somehow attract a daycare, I guess is the best way to put it, a daycare.
Well, that's why I said if they close BEMS,
Mhm.
that could be Franklin County's largest childcare. And it could be a business that thrives because every town around Bakersfield might bring their children here.
I don't think it's just us that are lacking in that support, but yes, I hear you. It's true. What, you want to open childcare? Is that what you said, Alex?
I do not.
Alex has announced Alex's kid care.
Childcare.
No, just teasing.
Certain
Teasing.
development of one here in town.
I think we're up to transportation on 28.
Yep, yeah, so transportation. Page 28, so this is a new chapter, starts with all the goals and policies for transportation. There's 2 goals and several policies. I don't think these changed super. I don't think they changed a lot since the last draft.
Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Holy smokes.
That was a lot.
Big bless you.
So on page 30,
Mhm.
there's a word missing that makes me not understand the statement. It's the second to the last paragraph. The
Mhm.
town of Bakersfield currently has an ATV ordinance that allows ATVs all town roads. Is it
Yeah.
on all town roads? Because I didn't know that was the case.
We have an ordinance or an ATV licensing program that people buy. We give them the sticker. They're able to use the ATVs on. Yes, sir.
Where's the enforcement? I guarantee you, I see 100 of those things drive by my house, none of them got a sticker.
Where's the enforcement for a lot of things? We agree. Problem is, we do get the commitment occasionally from the town, from the park and rangers who say that, we can ask them to come off on a specific Saturday. Now who you catch, who don't you? The other thing is I see these ATVs and all the young kids on them driving down Main Street, which is illegal.
Also, why did you decide to use my side of town for that?
Well, you got such a nice road to use. So,
I'm going on the back of the side by side and them from any registration.
Oh, exactly.
That's what they're
I mean,
doing.
there's a lot of concerns with the ATVs, but we do have a sticker program that we ask people adhere to. We used to be, our trails and all used to be a part of a larger network, but due to the fact that they weren't being maintained and things, we decided to take this all.
Basta was here, they were used a lot, but now it's on, it's kind of.
So we pull it back and we have our own ticket, sticker system that we sell for people, but they are supposed to stay on designated roads. It's not all.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to update the section based on reading the ordinance and everything, because I think in the previous plan, it was talking about how an ATV ordinance was needed, and now it sounds like now that there is an ordinance, like enforcement is the issue now.
They could, everything could use a tweak anymore, yeah.
And then there's this section in the following paragraph about Waterville Mountain Road that was in the old plan. I wasn't sure if this was still relevant.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Still on page 30.
Yeah, there's signs up there that say it's not maintained during the winter.
Mhm.
Between the Bear Ledge and where they turn around.
Yeah, our class 4 roads are one level above a trail,
Yeah,
and they are only maintained passable. Requirement is 1 season per year, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think Waterville Mountain is class 3 at
The
least.
class 3 up to the turnaround.
There's turns to class 4, I think further up,
Is it
right?
class four? When it turns to 4?
Yeah, it's.
I think you know that road went to 4.
There was a sign.
Okay, we're talking about
but it
Belvedere,
keeps getting-
Belvedere Mountain Road.
No, actually, it's Waterville Mountain Road.
Yeah.
So the map doesn't indicate that adequately. The map shows it as being gravel.
It is gravel, but it's a trail for a section of it during the
Right,
winter months.
it might be that there needs to be something indicating a certain length of that Route 37 is not passable in the winter.
We don't maintain it
Is genuinely closed.
at the class 4 site. Al, you drive the truck, tell us the story.
Waterloo Mountain turns class 4 just past Busca's. There has been a sign there in the past, but keeps coming up missing. We do make it passable in the summer months, but people use that road all winter long.
Somebody plows it with their personal.
Somebody plows it, which they shouldn't be plowing it.
Right.
We were approached a few months ago from Waterville, and they were thinking about putting a gate up on their side.
Good.
So that may be something that we have to think about, because if somebody goes up through there, because it looks plowed.
Yeah.
They've
it
got,
falls back on us.
they've got stuck up in there in the winter.
Right.
I went through there one summer and there was a box truck and
Mhm.
that got stuck. They didn't,
Mhm.
they couldn't go that way.
Yeah.
Bear ledge is very narrow through the bear ledge.
So maybe like adding something in this section about how like
Class 4 roads are
there's
closed
no,
in the winter.
no plans to maintain in the winter, and it should be clearly indicated that that's not the.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of additional development pressure. It's mostly that there's a lot of danger
Mhm.
driving that road
Risk.
past, past certain months of the year.
Oh, yeah, it's just as bad as Belvedere Mountain.
Mhm.
I don't even know why you would think you could drive across Belvedere Mountain Road. I mean, you get up there so far and it's like, this isn't a road. This is like the edge of a cliff you're bouncing down. I don't get the desire to ride up and, but I'm an older guy, so maybe that's why.
And there's no power and there's no cell. So
There you go.
Okay, so yeah, I'll update that section. Um,
I wonder if it's worth calling out, maybe shrinking this table
yeah,
and putting a class 4 road sign. Picture of one maybe.
Yeah.
Before it gets stolen. So we're emphasizing that there's a risk to those, and that's.
I think the problem is like anything, even on where the golf course is, the darn 40-mile-an-hour sign disappears every third week. Or it's hit and broken and smashed. These guys are picking up
They
off the
still go
ground.
60.
Yeah, and nobody slows down. It's just, people are like, oh, if I take that down, no one will know, right?
It's going in some college dorm.
You know what? Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
some barn.
Some barn.
I see them in barns.
Yeah. So it's the same kind of thing though.
All right.
Yeah, so I added a map of the sidewalks. I think something that we talked about at some point or that came up on the survey was how back in 2004, when the study was done on sidewalks, they proposed a bigger network than what was actually built. And I think people have been talking about maybe it would be helpful to extend the sidewalk as originally proposed to
One
the
landowner.
north and south of.
One landowner held that up.
Was it? Yeah. They didn't want to
So-
go up their front edge, front.
But from what I understand, that one
I think
landowner
that's
is
the-
now
yeah.
interested
Yes.
in having sidewalks.
Mhm.
That's
So-
the change. You're right, Bill.
If it was possible to revisit this, it could be of great value to the development that is occurring south of the Four Corners, which is, Sunset Road and all of the homes on 108. That's a part of the village that's getting more settled. And it could even support some other development there, which, the town is frankly, we're a bedroom community. We're not likely to be significant industry here. But it could be that as a bedroom community, we could thrive. And having sidewalks on 108 for the majority of its distance through town would be a benefit to people that walk and bicycle.
That was a federal grant that we got to.
I was gonna say-
This side.
Yeah, I
We'd
think
have
it was a
to
grant that we
yeah.
received to put those sidewalks in. We'd have to look
Yeah.
for another opportunity for,
Kind of like the
That type thing.
crosswalk side, we end up with the state a lot.
I am reading the concern with the snow
Yeah.
and plows, and it is accurate.
Right.
It is accurate, and Al also, who takes care of our snow in the winter, him and his crew, can ascertain. The problem is they'll clear the sidewalk and they'll come back a little later and it's plowed back in because the state plow trucks come through and just blow the snow from the street.
Well, yeah, and the sidewalk was built like right on the curb, so that's just where.
I think that's twofold, though. I think that was because I don't believe a lot of folks wanted to give them much
Yeah.
of the front of their property. I mean, you would figure that you'd have a grass plot that would probably need to be out, correct me if I'm wrong, like 4 foot wide, then the sidewalk. You know, I'm not sure people want to give up that much real estate off the,
Yeah.
Standard was, is what we built that to.
the federal standard.
It's a federal, yeah.
Mm.
So I mean,
We have to
it's a
meet
challenge for us.
Yeah.
There is no argument there because it's a challenge for him and his
It
team.
actually works good that the sidewalks close to the road like that, if we could just get the state on the same page.
Yeah.
The wing back a little bit.
So it's more of a coordination
Yeah, it's
issue
more of
on
a
the way
coordination,
that
yeah.
the sidewalks actually
Yeah.
built. Okay.
And that's a good thing for a town to point out to the state is that you know, they sometimes can have something written shared with them and they say, oh, we didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's so true. That's so true. Because they're not up here. They don't have the eyes.
Do we have a goal that speaks to prioritizing sidewalks?
So
Instead of supporting a goal.
I thought the
right?
same thing, Amber, that the paragraph under the words complete streets,
Mhm.
that begs for a policy. We should have a policy in this chapter about complete streets. Because it really is something that, you know, you go to some of the towns in this state that are just beautiful. Take Woodstock, Vermont. People come from all across the country to go there and visit. It's because they have sidewalks, they have places where people can walk from shop to shop. You're not gonna have shops here unless people can walk from
No, it's-
house to house.
Look at Stowe. Stowe, they have people going up and down. there.
Exactly. So, you know, I think complete streets do a lot to enhance the value of a town.
It's a safe walk too.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you driven 108 where somebody's with a stroller and their dog is
Saw
basically
today.
on the street?
Just saw it today.
Yeah.
I think it was a grandmother, 2 kids, 2 grandchildren and a dog. She's walking
Right.
down the sidewalk and it
Yeah.
goes to the gas station.
Right. And it's where the school is, it's where there could be businesses that open in some of the slots, yeah.
Yeah.
See, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
No, go right ahead.
Just one more thing I was gonna say on the sidewalks. I don't know if the town has a copy of that original study that was done way back in 2004. I tried to see if I could get it from the firm that did it, but they're not in business
Lance might know,
anymore.
Because I think Lance might have been involved.
Lance was on the board back then, right?
Yeah,
Almost, maybe not then,
yeah.
but yeah, either him or maybe Tammy. Can we
Or
take a
there's a
look?
file in the.
See, it's if we had something from that era available, 2004 study for sidewalks.
You can get access.
Well, yeah, because this map I just drew based on the description of what was in the old plan based on what they proposed, but it'd be good to look at the actual study to just verify that.
Yeah, you'd probably have to do a new study just because of, it's been 22 years. and graphics. I would say the one that I read on page 31 that I agree needs some help, but traffic calming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My understanding is that the initial proposal for Main Street was 20 or 25 miles an hour, but the state would not let us lower the speed limit.
So the state has a weird way of doing things. I was a part of the effort to get that traffic study.
Mhm.
And what they do is they don't look at what are the risks of going too fast. They look at what the drivers do. And if drivers drive 40 almost all the time,
Right.
that's what they say the speed limit should be.
Yeah.
And the problem is that the only way you get drivers to actually do something that might be a little bit less dangerous is you put up obstacles.
Obstacles or the speed signs.
Speed bump.
Trying to get.
One of the things that they have found is most effective is the actual device that shows what your speed is and says slow down.
That's your,
Those are the best, according to data I've read.
because of flashes.
It tells people, it does. It makes you think, oh, I'm going too fast.
I can substantiate everything you're saying because I did the traffic study on Boston Post Road. And I think, yeah, I was the one who went and contacted V-Trans, had them come out. We looked at,
And the difference is we can set Boston Post Road because it's our road.
right, so we chose the speed.
Which is, that's a state highway going through the village.
They had school buses doing 65 down there. It's a very interesting study, to be totally honest. And I know we're already way late, but real quickly, the way it works by the starting gate and the ending gate determines your speed, axle, weight, things like that. And then they take that and model it out. That is it a milk truck? Is it a school bus or is it a passenger car? And that's exactly what, I mean, that study was pretty thorough, but they had school buses blowing through there at 65 miles an hour on Boston Post. So you wonder why there's crazy accidents on Boston Post. People just think of it as a drag strip. They go down so fast.
Mhm.
We put the 40-mile-an-hour signs up, and I guarantee you, if I go and ask them to do a second traffic study just as a follow-up, I think we'd still see people buzzing on average of 55 or more. They don't care. And like I said, they're smashing the signs off the post, but back to Main Street, because that is a concern for people who live in the village, and they have voiced it a number of times to us.
And because it's a state highway, that's when they.
We can't
regulate
dictate that speed.
That's the difference. Like if you take the village of Enosburg, and once you cross the bridge, that's the village roadway until you get all the way up to McDonald's. They own that, so they can set the speed on that.
Right. So I think
But
we
they
can
also have to
request,
maintain it, so it comes with a cost.
we could try to request a second study on Main Street. I'm not saying this is bad. This is good. I just don't know
I
what.
think it would be cheaper to invest in one of those signs that measures the speed and blinks.
Alex, I know I'm looking over at you. We were looking for grants to get one or two of those signs, the mobile speed signs,
I had the price, they were $7,000 a piece.
$7,000 a piece.
That's
We're looking
cheaper
for-
than getting anything else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
put one at each end and it would slow people down.
Yeah, we talked about that.
They were wheeled units that would battery powered, solar powered.
Right. And the beauty is we can move them.
Right. You put it out on 36.
Right.
Some days.
People see it.
36.
Yeah, and you're able to put those on the state roads too.
Remind me, I think we were allowed to put them, but that isn't what they told us, the state, we could put that on the state road, right? The police were telling
But
us.
it goes like those signs that I put up for the flashing lights at the library, you gotta have that special post
Right.
and it.
Well,
it's
if we want-
the process.
There might be some sort of collaboration.
If we want mobile ones though, so we can move them.
Yeah.
I think,
That's
you know,
what
we
we're
would,
looking
we've
at,
talked,
wheeled units, so they can be.
we can move it from
Right.
different ends.
Yeah.
You know, but the problem is, like I said, I think it will help for those who care. Someone go, oh God, I'm really going to fit, you know, I think it'll help there. I honestly
The
think,
ones that have little flashing white light, they think they're on a camera, so they.
yeah, so they'll slow down, true. So I'm sorry, I tied us down here. That was.
Yeah, we're on the page, so. Yeah, so this, last page just talks about the rail trail, and public transportation and carpooling, since there's not any public transit serving Bakersfield. Yeah, one thing I thought it'd be good to discuss is like, to what extent is it a priority for the town to like capitalize on the LVRT, since it doesn't really go through the village, it sort of cuts through the corner of the town. It's probably not feasible to like physically connect it, but like, is it like a priority for getting tourism to the town, like bicycle based?
A couple of first response calls on it already.
Yeah.
If we could convince the people that run LVRT to put a sign at the four corners that said you could go this way to get to it, and you could on 36 and then go 108 south to get to it, that could help people thinking about, oh, I'll park my car in Bakersfield and I'll ride my bike and go on the rail trail. And then eventually that might substantiate what I think was another thought in here, and that's about the general store. There's a comment in here about how the septic system has kept that poor general store from running. It's not the septic system, it's that you gotta have somebody who's willing to invest in the place to sell food and other general store items somewhere in the village. It doesn't have to be that particular property. And if you have businesses see that this is a link to the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail, it could be an incentive to open a business. Maybe not in that old building that's failed to hold a general store longer than 10 years at a time, but maybe in another building in town.
So we were going to try to open it, the Cold Hollow Community Collective that I was a part of and running at the end. We're trying to take over that and build that back into the store. We're talking to one right here.
Yeah,
And
it's just the property itself is not designed to
it's not,
take
yeah,
the septic system. adequate
it's
size.
power's low and there was a lot of work that needed to be done in the
And there
building.
was a landlord that wasn't really that interested in helping either.
So
You were reminding me, Bill, actually, that over on, I guess, the common, there are there's a parking area, and in the past, when the general store was open, bicyclists would make us
Yep,
part of their
they would.
park there, and I think Conservation Commission was looking into a bicycle repair station that was permanent over there, and I know J&A Auto, I think, funded, or somebody funded the porta potties that were over there.
A very popular route out of Canada to come 108 all the way down to Stowe. And we could capitalize on that, but it needs to have, like, the people stopped at the general store to get food and beverages, but that building just won't accommodate a store. So it needs to be maybe, let's stop trying to make that property and something it won't be. Let's find another property that could be.
So yeah, we looked at, when we were trying to identify potentials, actually the front lawn of Brigham, we were going to try to get containers converted over into some kind of building or structure for it. We looked at the gas station across from the gas station or the repair station, because that's been up for sale for a bit. Yeah,
Actually, that might be a pretty good option, given that it's across from a gas station.
that's right. That's why we were talking about, and even like pizzas and all there. Thought there would be my personal assessment, and I am not truly a person with proper disposal of stuff, but it was a gas station. So my concern was, how are we getting rid of anything that may be there that was, fluids from vehicles?
There are brownfields grants in the state and in the.
So we thought about that. We actually also do, so we were talking about that being called the garage, right? Garage.
Yeah.
store, right?
Yeah.
And we were, one of the other ones we were kicking around was actually the Methodist Church, calling it the Abbey, and but not the Abbey, but like the Priory or something, and having people come there for a store. So we were all kind.
It takes an entrepreneur. You
Yeah.
got to bring an entrepreneur in.
Yeah, you have to have somebody who's willing to put the time and the money in, and know that the key is that you will have local support, but to truly be successful,
Right.
that's got to ripple out.
Right.
These areas.
Well, that's what we were looking at, the co-op. We talked about so many things. Co-op farmers would come and,
Yeah.
we talked about a lot. Coffee shops, pizza, we do sandwiches. I actually said a number of times, I think while we were sitting here, I would love to see Brigham Academy, if they decide to build it, to actually put a sundries and or some kind of store downstairs, not only for the residents of the building, but for.
Preserving the gym, couldn't that be?
Well, we'll see what the final plans are. We don't
I haven't
know.
seen
They're
that.
still working on that. I don't want to put anything out there that's not finalized. So we'll see, but that was always one of the things I was pressing for. If they open that, maybe they could put a small store, coffee, sundries, something, not only for the residents in the place, but the residents of the town could go and pick up toilet paper or whatever. $9.50 we were talking about.
Maybe it's a spot with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but Joyle's, the stewards no longer have Wi-Fi. So
They're the ones that had the other unit that we put up here,
Mhm.
and I found out that they took it down.
We had a grant for it.
What's
So
missing?
Dolly didn't tell me.
missing So we have to get it back from them.
Somebody better find
Yeah.
out before the state comes down. So is that what you guys have? Are we through today?
Yep, yeah, that's it.
So it's quite in depth and well put together. I appreciate the efforts. I know how hard it is to
Definitely.
get stuff ready for us.
Yeah, well,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being willing to.
And came to the select board for a grant, and this is what we got. As you can see, it's very excellent service.
Yeah, hope
No,
you
absolutely.
feel like you got it.
Appreciate it. Good job with the planning commission as well. Thank you.
Okay, I can email you.
You have the comfortable chair. You can stop. Yeah, it is a comfortable chair. Yeah. I bet you're sore. Yeah.
Before we let, what are we doing? We're trying.
A lot more. Yeah.
Before the planning commission, everyone leaves, do anyone have any questions for them? They are a noisy bunch, I know.
No.
Holy smokes.
Good.
Thank you again, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on with this evening's agenda. Thank you for your time. No, thank you for you did a great job, guys. Yeah, we have some other business. So before we get to Alex, we have Brian here with Witch Cat Electric. Come on down.
I didn't print out copies. This is just, my estimate for work to be done. And, don't mark up on the materials, that's just exactly what it's gonna be, my estimate for hours, and there's a electrical, Vermont State electrical permit that needs to be pulled by there. I'll tell you, quickly what I discovered, and it's right in front of us.
So first off, if I could, let me just kick this off so everybody's listening knows what we're talking about.
Hi.
Thank you. So Brian Witch Cat Electric is, we've asked him to provide a quote for us to understand what it would cost us to take our electric service from the substandard,
And dangerous.
service and dangerous
Yeah.
because of all today's
Yeah.
modern equipment. I mean, it was great back when we weren't pulling the kind of juice we are, up to a 200 amp service, which would be, I don't know, 3, almost 4 times the service we have now.
Twice.
We're not, well, we're 90. We have 90.
But,
Oh, we are.
it's also code. I can get into details of it, but for me to be able to take a look at your actual usage, and to actually look at whether you need what's already there. But that's a conversation. That basically just would cost for me just to upgrade the service bus down to the meter and make the emergency generator bypass switch actually physically legal.
Yeah.
Currently, if you don't turn off the breaker and you energize that, you can throw power on the mains.
Great.
So that's an actual legitimate concern.
Right.
So
we don't really have a transfer switch. do we?
Transfer switch.
One of the, what were they called? The washer machine hookups.
Yeah. So would assume that the existing connector that's there, I'm sure there's some, generators that you bring over and plug in. Yeah.
It's an emergency. So really, it's just a hookup sitting on the outside of the building. Wire hanging up. I think it's a.
Yeah.
Out the
It's fine. It's not safe.
It needs to be.
I don't even know the term.
Code.
I don't know if you know it.
So some people cell phone. Actually, the system is also a municipal building, not a residence, so it doesn't require any of that. The issue is, and this is part of the conversation about, that's my information. Now we can like go down and look at the utility, and I'm not sure if it's Green Mountain Power or co-op here.
It's Green Mountain Power.
Green Mountain Power. It's a deposit to that what you have done. Previous experience tells me that they're going to come in and say, to a 20 service, we're going to have to increase the size of that transformer. You're going to have to pay for that transformer. And the wires coming from the transformer all the way to here. Which, that, again, it's a matter of spending money now and ready for the future. You know, kick the can, make it safe, and then kick the can down the road. So that's the other side of it. I'm happy to, if you guys get authorized to communicate with them directly, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to write the checks to get those things moving. But I would charge you for my time. So if you want that done, happy to do it. Just need to get me to them and, you know, this is an authorized agent for now. Basically, to be calling them after being authorized and saying, please come take a look at this. Here's a check. Tell us how much it's gonna be. They'll come in and say, this is how much it's gonna be. And you don't need to have to argue about it.
The good news is that this is a part of the MERP grant, so long as we can get this moving in any kind of expedited manner, because if we could say we started this process, we reserve our funds again. Everything they've sent me says that the state wants to try to call back the funds starting maybe May 15th.
For a motion.
Yeah, I'm ready for a motion if you're.
I will make the motion, we accept the Witchcat Electric estimate that I have in hand for $2,184.22.
Yep.
And that we also allow him to be our agent to work with Green Mountain Power on whatever's required to get that part of it as well.
Thank you very much.
And the fees and all. Do we want to include the fees that he's going to incur, pay
I
the
think
fees as
he can come
presented?
back, tell us, and we'll make a motion of that.
Okay.
I think, if you don't know what the fees are, I should say, you know, $2,000 and it's $10,000. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That information for, that's the sort of.
Reimburse anything that he spends.
Sort of
Yeah.
Charge for the time and for them to go do it. Yeah.
The estimate on what you think that extra will be.
Yes, it's gonna be between $250 and $300 for them to say they'll come and look at it.
And change that to say up to $2,600 to do what he needs to do.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Motion's been made and seconded that we have Brian as our authorized agent with Green Mountain Power to obtain the actual fees of what they will charge us, as well as up to $2,600 against not only the work to be performed, but also the fees that he'll be charged for that information for Green Mountain Power.
Fantastic.
All those in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Silent majority loses. 3-0.
Give the man what he needs to do.
Thank you, Brian.
No problem. It's not sure. It's Catherine's needs to call them and say, and put down the restaurant.
So Tammy, can you make sure that Brian is added to the list as an authorized agent with regards to this action? And also, can you ensure that Tom gives him access to the current or any electric bills that he needs to ascertain?
Yeah, because I'd like to take a look at the grant information.
Oh, Green Mountain Power, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you could pull your statements from the last umpteen.
down to 5-minute duration. So then you get that and be like, 20 minutes period. This is kind of silly to do.
The good news is we're playing with the state, the state's funding.
Half, exactly. Right.
So, you know, it's important that we
If
keep.
we
that.
don't need the 200 amp service, he determines that.
Well, I know
Then
they
I wouldn't go do the outside stuff at this
No.
point. Like, yeah,
Just the fire,
it'll be done outside.
Say-
fire safety.
I think the suggestion of the MERP was that we go to a 200 amp service. That's what they gave us the money for. So,
Yeah.
I mean, please look and let us know what you think, but I also know that we're not running the 2 air conditioners that we have yet. We're not.
What generator do we hook to this?
Yeah, and the other thing is if we start using the upstairs some. No.
Generator?
Do we
Yeah,
have
we
one?
need at least 2
Or does someone bring their tractor down and run it? I don't know.
It's one of those, there's also a fire station
Yep.
that's now the Northwest Consolidated. So same exact same.
Generator ourselves down there.
Yeah, so I don't know. So it's not necessary. Investigate
I think
we
it's
should-
necessary, just
Yeah,
to know
we
what
need to put-
generator they're using.
We need to put it to code here. I personally believe it's.
You may end up buying a generator is what I'm trying to say.
That could change things too. So connection system, and that's not included, because I didn't know when I got into this, whether you guys were like, yeah, we just put this one. Click it.
This is bringing his tractor mounted generator up and plugging it in.
I don't know what it originally is for, a roll up or something, in case of emergency, but yeah, we should get it legal.
And find out how like, so somebody's got to know how that comes
Fits
through.
in, right?
But if it's guys that way, then we develop a good
We
plan.
used to have a wheeled unit, but I think they made them all permanent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly
I have
don't
some
know.
big 25K wheeled units that I had available, and I think they made them all permanent. One's up at the water, and I think one's at the school.
Well, okay.
I would say, I don't know what the actual receptacle is there. But whatever the
I know
standard.
the trade calls, that's a connection. It's hard to use, but.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
I would use whatever the standard.
Yeah, and that's a mechanical interlock system, and it's not an automatic transfer system.
Right.
So it's, you gotta hook a generator up to that, to fire it up.
Yeah.
So it's that would still be a little like, I don't know yet, but.
So I think what we would want, at least for the time being, is to put that to code so that if we had an emergency, we could do a roll-up generator and just plug it.
That's what they have, that's exactly what you have in front of you, like, that is the existing
Yep.
generator connection.
Yep.
And replaces the mast into the thing, and then provides two separate breakers for the two sub panels.
We don't fry someone on the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's a service, and now each one of those 100 amp panels can take advantage of that 100 amp service rather than both of them using 100 amp service.
And then the other thing I would say, Brian, as you would be the subject matter expert, is when we do this, we'd need a method of procedure or whatever, explaining like on a card sheet, charge the time obviously for it, but that specifically draws out throw, when you're done, throw.
That's the beauty of it.
Is it an ATS? Or are you putting an
Put a mechanical transfer switch in, and basically it's a locking wire that you can't turn around, turning the other off.
Okay, I got what you-
So
Yep.
it's biggest problems mechanical. Once you start getting automatic transfer switches, then you're dealing with Generac. And there's a guy here in town that does them all the time, and I would send you
Yeah.
directly to him.
But I use ASCO.
Yeah.
ASCO 7000 series at my
Yeah.
place. It's
Yeah.
not my house, my run data center, so
Yeah, exactly.
big power, but yeah.
Okay. I'll hit that up, next couple of weeks. About next week, time we have before I'm unauthorized agent. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
They may just ask for a letter or
Tom should-
saying, what I'm saying, to
yeah,
confirm.
Look, should have access to the portal minimally.
Right.
If he doesn't, he should get it. I mean, it gives him all the bills if they don't come in and everything.
yeah, so yeah, we want the information for the portal. And then just an authorized, I can write checks to them. And then I'll deal with them on nonprofit status stuff. I don't know if that is relevant to this organization or not.
We know we don't pay taxes.
You don't pay tax.
I can tell you that, but it's we should probably have taxes and forms filed with them. Oh, that shouldn't be a problem, but I'll make sure and maintain that as I go through.
Should be on file with them.
Okay. And
Good.
Isn't it on the top of the?
yes, thank you. Sorry, Beth, I don't want y'all to know my phone number.
No, you don't, so you call him for business and then that's a different story. But,
Do you have any other questions?
no, thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, no problem. See, if you guys, I'll try to come back on the 11th.
Yeah.
To give you an update. Thanks.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Do you prefer text or voice message?
Me?
Yes.
Do I have to, I prefer phone calls going, hey, John.
Okay, cool.
I'm a texter, man.
That's why I went to school to your voice message today, and follow up with a text, like, I don't know which way this guy goes yet.
I can do text, but Tammy will tell you, I'll answer a phone before I answer a text.
There you go, that's the information I need.
You go.
Okay, anything else?
No,
That's it.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Alex, roll on up, my friend. Leave that on for him.
I did.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Quite the meeting, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that was, but it was very informative, informative. We, full written. We have your document. I perused it
Yep,
this afternoon.
yep.
There you go, Todd. That's free.
Awesome. So I'll try to
Look at it.
run through this fairly quickly. 69.5 hours of service so far. Of those, 11 and a quarter have been split with the library. Working on the grant we just did. I'll talk about that in a second. Our agreement's coming up in June, so probably in May. We should talk about whether a renewal should happen or not.
I was gonna ask that, I will put together a proposal for your renewal if there's
Okay.
any increases or anything, you know, that you included in there.
Yep,
And we could talk about it at the next, meeting with you.
can do. Are there any things, I guess my question would be, any things that you would like to see change based on our engagement together?
I mean, I'm only gonna speak for me, but I think our engagement's been very lucrative for
Oh,
the
I
town.
think so. It's been
I
very
think
good,
you've
yeah.
done an excellent job for us and
Keep
some
digging
folks
for the
may
green.
say, what's he doing? And we can point to a half a dozen projects that you have a direct hand in, so. No, I think you've done phenomenal, not only for the town, but the organizations outside of this building.
Yep.
Um,
Awesome. Well, that's wonderful to hear, and we'll keep it going. Yeah.
it doesn't-
I try. I try. Grants are never guaranteed, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, we've gotten some pretty good, you know what would be nice, Alex, and this is just something for you,
Yeah,
so you could toot your own horn.
yeah,
Right, I think what would be great is in your proposal, if you can find the total amount, just how much money that you've obtained for the
Yes,
town.
that's a good
From
point. yeah.
MERP
What
Yep.
we,
Yeah.
to everything you've done,
Yep.
you know, like just a high level, hey, guys, you know, this past year, I've used 75, 80 hours of time.
Yep.
Out of that 80 hours of time, I was able to help obtain MERP. I was able to obtain MERP for
Yep.
we
the,
should be touting that in a town report.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
you should,
Yeah.
you
To
really
help
should.
both him and us.
Correct, because I don't think people realize the level that
The level
he
of
goes through,
money.
that we go through trying to find money.
yep,
Down to,
Yeah.
down to the transit signs that we're going to be installing sooner than later.
yeah. We'll talk about that in a second too. Go ahead. Yeah, I track that information for myself, for all clients. Like I personally, as a grant writer, I try to track my success rate because it's, you know, a feather in my cap. And as I try to sell myself, it's important, you know. So can definitely do that. This past year, I don't, the ones you're talking about were actually 2 years ago. This past year, we haven't done a lot. We worked on some projects like the Belvedere Mountain Road thing, and then we didn't actually do it, you know, so it, you know, I don't think there was anything that got awarded this year, which we're gonna change.
Wasn't the flashing lights for the crossing, didn't that happen in this
No,
last
that
20?
was last
I
year.
think it was 24.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's
25?
been, it took a year to get the permit.
Yeah, yeah,
And then that came in the fall of the year, so we haven't been able to finish
We've
it.
done MERP.
yeah.
Well, that's something we've got to work on
MERP
in the
was,
next
yeah.
month or two.
was MERP 25?
It was 24 as well. Yeah,
It
but
just feels like
well, the state processes take a long time, so it does feel like it
And
was.
people change, the problem is people just, like the people I dealt with for this particular sign have all left. They're in different positions within the state, so you're dealing with different people that don't know what the project is.
Yep, yep.
It's true.
Okay, so since last meeting, I worked with the library. We submitted a grant to the Vermont Department of Libraries. This is federal funding coming down through HUD. The second sentence should say, the trustees and librarian have the final application, not a draft. I'm apologize for that. But the final request was $214,475. And so that would include septic system upgrade, planning for that, and the upgrade. It would include a bump out on the building to install an ADA accessible bathroom on the building and rerouting the handicap ramp to a side door to be closer to that bathroom. I don't know how this one's gonna go, if I'm quite honest with you, because one of the rules was you couldn't expand the footprint of a library. We talked to them ahead of time and they said, apply for it under the ADA accessibility category, funding category, and we'll consider it. So I think it's kind of a 50-50 shot, but you know, you miss all the shots you don't take, so.
Okay. Exactly.
Oh, you can't get it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, but that would be a big win for the library to start that project.
What's, what is our buy-in on 214, if any?
There's no match requirement.
Oh, that's all. That's a
Yeah.
great grant.
Yeah.
That's a great grant.
Um,
For the best.
there were some emails about V-Trans grants and aid. I think Alan can probably just take care of that for him if you guys want to participate in that program. It's just it's a signature, on, it's hydrologically connected road segments, and some funds that the state sets aside for those things. I also met with Mariah Noth of the Vermont Housing Conservation Board, the READY program, Rural Economic Development Initiative. So I brought this up before, but I wanted to check back in with her, particularly about the library plans for the expansion and Brigham Academy. READY could actually support my time in developing grant proposals for certain projects, historical preservation, housing initiatives, things like that. She thought both of those projects could be eligible for READY. She also pointed that the town should also look at, the Regional Planning Commission for grant writing support, as well as the Municipal Technical Assistance Program through the state as well, going there first before a request to READY. But she also pointed me to some grant opportunities that could be helpful for those things. And then I always do some general research. Okay, grant opportunities coming up. I left this first one on from last time because we have a hard due date now. The bicycle and pedestrian program. This is the one that supported the crosswalk work that you were talking about. There's small scale awards, there's large scale awards, so it's really just depending on what you guys are willing to take on or want to do. It's certainly a small scale thing, could be like the speed carts I heard you discussing, but the large scale awards are actually, you could do sidewalks, something like that.
Say, what about those sidewalks?
Right, yeah. I'd have to go back and look at what the maximum request is, but I think it was pretty large. And so this is an annual opportunity too, so you could always have that in your back pocket for a sidewalk project if you want to get a study done and,
I think we need to get the study done, see how far that sidewalk should go, and
That's that, yeah.
I mean,
Or
I mean-
update the current.
we're going with 2004 data.
The speed sign, I thought we checked and they said that wouldn't fit this.
It was a different program.
The different program,
Mhm. Yeah, it was.
one that we would like.
We should
to-
go into for the
Yeah.
speed signs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least two of them, mobile carts.
Yeah, I can.
Know what that's gonna cost, Al?
those carts.
Mobile,
Yeah,
carts.
They were 7 to 10,000 a
Let's
piece,
call it 10,000 apiece with today's
Yeah,
economic climate.
depending on which company you went with.
they have guidelines for like, the most effective traffic control things that are out there. I forget what they call them, but I'm not sure if the speed carts are in there, so we might need to just contact P-Trans
Yeah.
to see if it would be an acceptable solution. And I don't know if they'll take issue with those speed carts being on the state right of way but I know we had to get a letter of support last
We
time.
can get them from the actual police occasionally and drop them on there right away. So I don't know why they would have a problem with
As long as they're off and they're not in the roadway itself, we're okay.
Yeah, I know for the crosswalk, we had to get a letter from the V-Trans commissioner,
Right,
the district that we're in,
Right.
yeah, the
so.
district person, but I think when it comes to the mobile carts, as long as they're not in the travel portion of the highway, you're okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll investigate it a little bit more, but, get working on that if I can. If I remember, it wasn't a super complicated application. It was more so
They-
getting the letter, getting the estimates.
The cost off the internet, there's 2 or 3 different companies that
Okay,
supply those.
yep. Next one is the community development programs, the community development block grant. So these applications are a beast, just putting this out there, but I do think it's probably one of the best opportunities to get a large sum of funding for some of the things that are kind of floating around in terms of ideas. Especially the library, like if they're really talking about trying to make the facilities more accessible, they do have these accessibility modification grants that could support, if they don't get this 214,000 we've already applied for, could support that. Implementation grants, rehabilitating housing units, I think of Brigham Academy, childcare centers were just mentioned this evening. There's a lot of different things you could do with it. And then, even planning grants. So, in a situation like the library, or you're talking about a septic system for the village, you could apply for a planning grant to
Sidewalks.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see the 150 for accessibility modifications?
Mhm.
i.e. elevator on the outside of the building?
Yep. It's like a pre-application that would be due in the fall, November. So you would have a little time to get some
Right.
ideas and concepts together. And then there would be a full application, and these are federal funds. It's a big application. So the Regional Planning Commission actually does these a lot, I've heard. So they might be the better resource to accomplish one of these applications. I'd be happy to do it, but it would be a significant lift in terms of time.
I'm just thinking, because we keep talking about the second floor on this building. And the
Do
fact
some
that
ADA grants there to put an
an elevator, take them up to the second floor.
Yep.
We would also have to do something by way of a fire escape off of there down.
Well, I mean, you could also order these too. You could do them multiple times. Like you could do the planning grant to do the architectural design,
Right.
the septic design for the library, whatever, or the architectural design for that build out, and then come back and apply for the other two, in a future cycle. So that's what kind of Mariah told me to do. She's like, the planning grant might be the one to start with, and then use that as your basis for applying for one of the others. And then moving to look at Utah, the Vermont Association of Conservation Districts.
Did this last year. We probably won't do this year.
Okay, gotcha. I did want to highlight it because they have that June 1 deadline coming up.
The only one that I thought of was the people we dealt with on the tall house.
Oh,
They're looking to put it in, so I was Paul Stanley to just reach out and let them know about this, to maybe
Yeah.
it would help them.
maybe. What about dry fire hydrants and all?
We already have 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you're telling me we have
Looking
enough?
for any more right now. We just put one in, we worked with someone to put it in last year up on the East Bakersfield Road.
Can you,
On the flat, down, beyond your house, you go up beyond where Cohollow
Mhm.
sugaring is, and go down
Yeah.
on that flat. There's a new pond on the left.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a fire pond.
dry hydrant, can you explain to me what that is?
Dry hydrant is just, it's usually a body of water, whether it be a stream, a river, or a pond that we can hook up to and draft water from.
Oh, okay. So
Like George has one down here at the sheep farm, that type of thing. Yeah. We have one on Route 36 by the cement bridge by the old creamery.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even realize there was.
Yep. There's a dry hydrant there.
Yeah, okay.
And then Mirren's has one on their pond up on Doyle Road.
Yeah, it just sticks up.
We use that a lot.
Yeah. There you go.
The last one,
Water in the pond. No, geez.
sorry.
No, just joking. Go ahead.
The Vermont Preservation Trust Initiative. Actually, Nick Parker at the Vermont Council on Rural Development emailed me and asked about projects in Bakersfield that might be a good fit, which is encouraging because they're trying to reach out to small towns for this initiative. So the catch with this one is that you have to form what's called a community trust, which is like a nonprofit organization.
Yep.
The projects that have been funded around the state so far in previous rounds support like the development of a general store, the development of a child care center, something that has to do with the economic development of the town, but at a physical space. Library community might be something like, but again, you'd have to have a community trust that would be in charge of running that outside of the normal municipal library trustees. So it's an interesting concept and a lot of funding. I'm happy to meet with Nick and like kind of float some of these ideas that were talked about tonight. But just wanted to kind of get your sense of interest in this. They do have open office hours meetings Mondays at 1 if any of you would like to join on. Okay. And chat with them about it and see if there's a project in town that could be a good fit for this. It's significant funding and technical assistance. So
What is it funding exactly? Because I've read it twice and I'm not quite sure what we're funding.
Right, so it would be like, so it would be to establish that community trust, that organization. And also there would be funding that would come through to like other towns have used it to do the renovations for their general store to make sure that that could get up and running, do the renovations for a physical space for a childcare center, something along those lines. It's community driven. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was this a few years ago when we were trying to get that store back?
Right, I know, Sean. I said the same thing.
Driving myself crazy trying to do that.
So Amber, I'll set up a meeting with Nick. Generally, do Mondays at 1 work for you, or is there like a, okay, all right. I'll email you about that this week and see if we can get it happen. Yep.
This is excellent.
Okay, cool. And the last thing, Tammy shared with me, there's a state tax credit program. The town itself wouldn't be eligible for this, but I did pass that along to the developers of Brigham Academy.
Good.
Essentially, income tax credits. The state basically takes off a certain percentage of the construction materials that get bought on projects. So that could be a significant cost savings in their development plan if they were to go after that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Appreciate you all.
Let us know how that meeting goes. Give it a little summary first. That would be cool. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to give this to you. I had generated it. Language we wanted in advance of replacing or restoring or doing something in the town garage, and then that, and this was the reasoning that would support it. So just an FYI, no.
Yeah.
Alan, you can hide back there, but you know you're coming up, so you might as well start making your way forward.
A quick one.
Let's hide behind him till he.
It's not snowing. We're gonna keep you here all night.
Snow's coming this weekend.
No, it is not.
We're gonna get like a foot of snow.
You're full of foot of snow. So, the easy stuff, what's happening?
So good. Super wet. Mud roads and dust.
Yeah.
Week and a half. Just to get out and some rain, much as we could. I was out there again today, just trying to cuff around the bad spots. I can't loosen them up right now because it's going to create nothing but dust. We are planning, hopefully the weather goes in the next few weeks to give them a good final grade and then put the chloride down to try to get a good base.
I noticed the ATVs on Kings Hill Road really enjoy raising the dust, right?
All right, let's blow some dust in the air.
Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things, the smoothing make the road.
Yeah.
We have feedback. Curly's. Wanted to thank you.
Okay.
Make sure I told you thank you for the work you did coming in on Saturday to get the roads going better. So what you may not know is Alan decided to not work on a Friday and come in on a Saturday to try to get the roads a little under control 2 Saturdays ago.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So he came in and it just so happened to coincide with right around the time that Kevin Curley reached out to me with a concern about his road and it being really bad, and he was the trail.
It's a trail to his house.
Well,
It's
whatever,
not a
whatever
road.
you want to call it,
Yeah.
the access way down the street, but he said he wanted to thank you for coming and taking care of.
Just
that
be
area.
careful how much work we do for people that are on trails, because it sets a precedent to those other people that we get complaints from.
I never talked.
You
to him.
know what I'm saying?
Ask him to go.
I was-
No, I'm just,
doing
you
the
know,
room.
to be careful as a.
Like I said, I did come in on a Saturday. I see rain coming, so it's like that. Actually came in Friday and he graded a bunch of stuff, and then I came in Saturday and we tried to get as much done. Unfortunately, the rain came Friday night and Saturday, but
it took some of the burden off. I mean, I feel sorry for a lot of these people that live on these back roads. Just you can't get around the holes. I mean, it's just, and we're at the mercy of Mother Nature. So I'm trying. We're definitely trying to.
And Alan asked, just so I know you didn't make the last meeting, Alan asked us if it would be all right if that was the scenario coming up, if he could be off on a Friday and do a Saturday for those specific reasons. And we all agreed that that was.
I just don't wanna see us start.
We don't want to set a
Class
precedent.
4 roads
Right.
and get a precedent set, so all of a sudden we're gonna have to maintain a bunch of class 4 roads. Because beyond the berm that goes there, that's private drive from there up through. They own it as an association, however those group of people are.
Are you talking about?
Other than
John which cat? Kevin Curl on which cat? Kevin Curl on which cat? No, yes, no, I got you. Speaking of class 4 roads, we did some work on Skinner Hill.
Yeah.
Not to the class 4 up through there. We were up there last week and it was pretty rough shape. So I had the guys haul in some gravel, which our screener went down a couple weeks ago. So
some big rock.
our gravel pile is dwindled down. Hopefully the pile will be here next few days. So we've been kind of scrambling, but we did a bunch of work on Skinner Hill and we got a complaint that it wasn't graded perfectly. And I'm trying to explain to these people, we're trying to get the roads so we can grade them. There's no material on half these roads to grade. I mean, you're pulling up rocks and so we're trying to build that step so in the next few weeks we can make them smooth. And
We've never built the roads up. We've always just scraped
them down.
all over.
right, and that's
Time to get the roads.
that's what we're trying to do. But things break down. Like Nick went out and was going to sweep last week when it was raining some of the intersections. The sweeper broke. So it's like, I said, well, let's go screen some gravel, and then the screener breaks. So it's just like, okay. So tires were really trying to be as efficient as possible. I know the roads are still they're rough, but they're a little better.
Listen, I mean, for a week, even Joyle Road was pretty good to ride down. It's getting bumpy again, but I can't complain because it's still bumpy now. It's 100% better than it was 2 weeks ago.
Well, I'll say it dried up so quick this year.
Like
Well, that's the problem with these roads, right? Like Mac always said, it's too wet, it's too dry.
Yep.
I said one time we should get a water truck, just
It's
wet it down a little.
it's not bad dry as long as we can apply chloride right after, and we're not to that chloride stage yet. So luckily I think we got rain coming Thursday and then snow and whatnot.
1 ton?
They contacted us 3 weeks ago, 3 to 4 weeks.
Yep, good.
So that'll be good.
Yeah.
And speaking of the crosswalk signs, maybe the next meeting, if Lance shows up, we can talk about how we want to do that, because I think looking at it, the best way would be an auger.
Oh, I agree. No, we talked about doing the auger.
So,
Yeah.
and
What I gotta do is we just gotta find out who's the District 8 coordinator we need to do.
get
I don't think the permit's still active. He just wants to come see what we're going to
Gotcha.
do.
like a site walk
Like a
up.
site visit and say, yep, okay, put them there. That sounds good.
Yep.
Put these here.
Yeah, see if we can, get everything put together.
I'll ask Andrew Nicholas,
Yep.
who should contact.
Because I think if we just at least get the basin and the post, then we could chisel at it as time goes on, because they sound a little bit complicated.
Gonna be the tough part, I think, like you say.
Yeah.
Those were you can post up.
But on the flip side, our new hire is working good.
Good.
Yeah.
He definitely stays moving.
Good.
I told him 1 step ahead of me. That's good. I don't have to tell him what to do. He's got the momentum and the drive. Tomorrow, we're gonna work on, I call it Dan Marcotte's Hill.
Yep.
The ditches there are plugged up, so I'm gonna take the grader tomorrow.
Yep.
The guys and I got a plan. We're gonna hog that stuff out of the ditch,
Yep.
bring it into the road, clean it up with the bucket and whatnot. And I think, because I wanna stop all the gravel from infiltrating down on 108 and all the water.
Yep.
And I think after we get it cleaned up, I think there's a culvert that goes under Callender's driveway.
It goes down across the road, actually.
I think something to get together, you guys, maybe you guys should bring a fire truck over and
Yeah.
maybe blast some water through it or something.
Brian talked to me the other day at the fire station about it.
See, I mean, I don't know if you guys are able to do that or whatnot,
We'll figure something, I'm sure.
but to try to fix that problem. It's been going on for a while and just,
They should be doing it. They have the equipment.
yeah, I know. I mean, like, I don't think we can make it 100% to that.
Must for it being plugged, but it's the
Right.
culvert technically.
Yeah, I think like tomorrow, I just want to make a dent in it, you know, to just make a slight improvement. It probably won't cure it 100%, but
I think any rock we could put in there, bigger rock would. help
That's-
versus
yep.
the gravel that.
yeah, absolutely.
Ditch.
Yeah, we have some pretty big tailings
Yep.
that I think would work good in there to kind of hold things back.
I got a chance to sign up for his.
He signed up for his permit and I believe it's next week that he goes in. And then, he's been reading the book and I believe, I don't know.
Do the course now, you just can't test anymore.
How you guys.
You can test, let him test, but I thought he had to do the course to get a class.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
And we agreed to pay for it as well.
Right. So I don't, you know, maybe we can look into that and see.
Have him call his Brick Greens or whatever, fucking the other one in Milton.
And just see if we can get him in there.
Send it an estimate and tell us what it's gonna cost. I think Josh said before he left, it's either C800, 7,000.
I definitely think, you know, if he keeps the positive attitude, and he cares.
Yeah.
He cares, and that's what the first thing I notice is he cares, and that's half the battle, right? You have to love your job, and care about what you do, and care about your community.
Him to be able to get this because he has a timeline he needs to get it by, and that's.
Right.
So we help him, and we're not the hindrance to this.
That's another thing. Rehab day.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Contacting Melissa. I tried calling her back yesterday and we couldn't get through. I'll try her again. Yeah,
Well, they used to do that for the town. Who was kind of the.
Okay.
Okay.
What the tires are gonna be collected, she needs to know.
As long as they don't do like in the past, everybody brings their tiles and puts them here.
right.
Not in town.
Yeah,
What they're gonna pay.
we paid, in the past, we've paid for it, I believe.
Yeah, $7 a tire, where are they gonna pay? Because nobody's gonna be out.
Why don't they just take them to the
Take them to the
the
recycle.
recycle place and pay there? Why do they have to
Yeah.
drop them on the side of the town common?
That's what they do, and then well, then they can tell us they left 2 tires and we'll charge them the $7 and say, okay, you need to pay us $14.
Well, who are they gonna tell?
But
They're gonna tell them.
the problem is that we don't know what we're gonna get charged. You sure it is?
75 free.
Okay, so
And $7 a tire, $25 for farm tires, but we put out no farm. Like farms on the tires.
simply try to do like an honor system.
I guess that's what you're gonna do.
Where would you have them pay? Nobody's out there.
That's what he says, it's an honor system.
But do you have?
We always said no tires. We fine, don't put your tires.
I would comment, just.
It's gonna be up to 7.
I would just say, if you've got tires, take care of them yourself. The town's gonna pick up any that are along our roadways and stuff.
Yeah.
Last week, that they're accepting tires.
Well, yeah, we got an email that there's a certain amount of tires that they'll accept, and when you exceed it, we won't put that number out. So there's a certain amount of tires that they're accepting.
So it's Saturday, right? Could they bring to the stake?
Take them there.
Is the town gonna pick them up? I mean,
No, they
is the
come-
state gonna pick them up?
Special hauler. Great.
To haul 75 plus.
Know that. That was the request.
They'll come up and pick them up from Northwest. You can take them to Georgia and drop them off there.
So.
$7.
A solution of how those $7 is gonna be collected, when no one's there.
I guess we don't accept tires. And
Once
anybody.
you
who
get
wants to drop a
75,
tire-
we're full. We don't take any more tires.
Does our on, we have the online payment system. Is there any way that can be
Utilized.
Well,
used?
anybody could bring their garbage there and throw it in the pile because nobody's there monitoring it. Someone
Yeah.
should be monitoring.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I don't think it's me.
Should be there
It's a
monitoring.
horn.
I agree.
It's yours to sign.
Be dropped off at night too, some of those
Oh,
times.
sure. People are gonna drop off. Yeah, that's the plus.
Not 10 tires in the ditch. Drop them off, make probably 75.
I think that is fine, you know, like if you're doing some used tires here, it's one thing. But I think you're gonna find those full sets of tires that are being
No.
there. It's, you know,
Just put that, we don't accept tires.
tires.
We don't accept tires.
I got 9 and I have
Fire.
Except
On the-
That's a lie. It's odd.
So,
Obviously, someone has put an AI bug out there and made.
All right. Did we have more than 75 last year? I guess that's the question. I didn't think we
we have,
5 maybe.
some of the tires.
Yeah, I just leave it the way it is and then.
See what happens.
When did we pick them up last year?
And if we get more than 75, we'll just stack it on your front lawn.
Yeah.
There's a plan, right?
I'll give you the 9 I have on my front lawn.
Just keep, look at this.
Yeah.
Who's asking these questions? Well, here's the deal. Melissa, we don't know. It's been answered.
At this
Even
point,
if there's
no one's
Saturday.
gonna be there. We can't really say they're gonna.
Who's gonna be there? Who's gonna be there?
No, I'm telling you.
Do we have an envelope drop box on the
No,
phone?
not having it, having it. We-
That's a good.
Yeah, but I'm saying someone,
Oh, drop box.
Little slot.
Date, right?
they can come to the town clerk's office when.
How do they get the, on the day of, how do they get the bags? They're just sitting at locations, nobody's there? So nobody's there. I don't know what, but. All right, I don't know what to tell you.
I would just say the honest person, come to the town clerk's office and pay your bills.
Pay your money on Monday for the tires you dropped off on Saturday.
Show up, then we'll figure we'll go from there, and then we'll just make an appointment or something to get out of them.
Figure it out. There you go, aren't you? You're not allowed to date.
If she wants to go on a date, I like coffee, I mean, that's fine.
Probably for the date for them to come up and pick it up and take it back to the.
Something.
You know, sounds like we need to be the plan.
Well, that's just, if that's the case, I think that's just a matter of calling them up and saying, hey, we can bring the little tires from Bakersfield down.
Like you did last year, though. Someone picked them up. You didn't.
So,
How about? Al, since you're gonna have coffee with her, can you find out what you exactly, know?
okay.
So we can put a
Yeah.
period on this, so give her a call. With some questions.
It's in your hand, it's in your capable hands to make decisions.
He's the road boy.
I don't know a specific date. I mean, that's the thing, like depending on their schedule. I mean, if we're out, you know, like in the middle of a project, you know, if it's raining or something, it's one thing, it's a good day to do tires.
Because you'll have to reserve your time if you pick a date. That's the.
Right, yes, no.
You know what, honestly, Nick can sit there and wait for him to come. I'm being serious.
I know.
Because right now, Nick isn't able to do all the equipment. So the logical choice is, unfortunately, I know it sounds bad, but Nick is a logical choice. Pick a day and,
Right.
you know, he can sit out there with a beach chair waiting for someone to show up to pick up the trash.
All right,
if they require us to drop it off, then
You
pick
can
a
do it.
day and you can truck it down.
Yeah, I think, was it last year when the state came, I think they called me or whatever, and came by with the truck and
State guys, I thought picked it up. We
I actually loaded it.
States push you.
What's that?
You know what's great? Al's gonna call and schedule that date with her. We're good.
We're good.
Al's taking care of it.
Yep, we're done.
Al's got it. I got everything else. Make sure Nick will be in that day.
Perfect.
Moving along.
So Al, now that we understand the state of the roads, fiscal year 27 grants in aid program.
Yep.
Did you ask to have this put on? Did we asked to have this put on?
It's us.
Last time.
Oh, that was that document, right? That was,
No, no. I wasn't
So-
here.
how are you making out with that? Because Mac used to fill that out. Are you?
Mac's actually been helping me. Yeah, we signed up for the grants for the culverts. I think they have to be hydraulically connected,
Yeah.
I believe. Should we get sent back for the grant? Should be coming in. We got a grant out for St. Louis Road and a grant out for the Whitney Culvert.
Boston Post intersection for 108.
Not the intersection,
Repave.
we paved them
Yeah.
about a mile.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
So we're not doing where Kings and Boston and one
Six. We for that, if we would, I mean, it's kind of like a state issue there, but they don't want to do it.
Once in a while, yeah.
We have a quote. It's about 66,000.
Yeah.
To pave that intersection.
Oh my God.
And it's going up in King Road because they'll have to the road's so beat up from traffic.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be slowing anybody down.
We contacting the state to provide them that quote. It's Mac next time you see him, because we should frankly send that on to the state and say, hey, we've got a grant, but it's only going to go to here.
A little bit
Right.
about that. He filled some holes and got in trouble from the state because.
Yeah, they're not our holes to
Yeah.
fill.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Well, they
It's
put that
like you said,
triangle
it's a
in.
gray area.
I still think
between-
about that triangle conversation.
Yeah, that was the-
Well, someone turning on the left, from the left on the Boston
Yep.
versus but man, that triangle makes perfect sense in what I think about.
it would slow people down. I mean, the farm trucks,
Yeah.
I met one for yesterday coming down through, they do not slow down when we go up Boston Post Road. You're grabbing gears. And I mean, I get it, we have agenda, but at some point, it's a safety issue. You need to just.
We've gone up to a complaint to.
Yeah, you got an agenda,
about
but
that.
it's be pill too, so you gotta, if you can get a running jump at it.
Or they even coming downhill.
Yeah.
They- I don't know how they see people coming from Williamsburg. So I mean, pavement is the ideal solution, but it's gonna make that problem worse.
Yes, I agree.
Traffic, a little triangle, you would have to slow down to make that corner. I hate, it'd be kind of a pain in the butt for us to plow, but
Let's go this way so you can
Is there
see.
temporary ones you can pull in the winter?
Yeah.
So put some chevrons around it. And we'll.
See barriers.
Against your desk.
But yeah, that's kind of where we're at there. We're just waiting for some feedback and
Future town garage. So have you designed it yet?
we didn't draw anything down, but we actually reached out to a few people that have the steel buildings and they sent us some flyers and pamphlet, and we actually have a couple should be coming in just to get some ideas. We do some measuring and thing, but I mean, things aren't cheap right now. It's like,
Thing we need to do
You want
is
my
find our boundaries, our property
the-
lines on those buildings.
Yeah.
floor
And then
plan
we know
that I
what property we
scan?
have to work with.
I can email it to you.
Zero.
Because I can't tell you if that's moved.
No, it's like,
Road being in the.
Because the one problem there is you have to give access to that metal, that whole left-hand side of that
I don't
station.
know if to say it out.
That's why I'm trying to think what ours is at the shop.
We go towards,
It's,
we go back, we might be able to put the building this way.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I get what you
and
mean.
do away with the building that's there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think having this building surveyed, just to see where our property lines are down here would help a lot in knowing what we have for a footprint to work with.
Let's put, next meeting, if everyone's here, let's put it to the entire and see if we.
it's that. I don't use it much. Brian usually does it.
Makes sense. We need to-
Just, we need to know.
APD.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
You know, because if they've got to reside somewhere.
We got
I believe.
here working on somebody else's property, we probably, you know what I'm saying?
I
We
get
need
you.
to, we need to understand the footprint of that building down here, the actual property things are.
Yeah, it's close. There's some. The gravel pit or the gravel is I believe off our property line.
That's, yeah,
And
yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
Years and-
The other thing I wanted to, sorry.
Field below the ball.
That's always been a disputed piece of property, that little ball
Yeah.
field. So at one point supposedly a family owned it and then the family donated it, but then it didn't, something happened. It was supposed to go back to the family. So there's been a lot of discussion on who actually
At
owns.
least the
The
taxes.
cemetery actually owns it in the end is what I heard.
I was gonna say, who pays the taxes
I
on it?
think
That's
so.
what
I
counts.
think the cemetery owns
Because
it.
they're gonna be the ones.
That's why I
Yeah.
want to get it, because it get a
Right.
real sticky wicky. No, it doesn't, but I think that's why,
Down owns
because
it.
I think it's actually part of the
What's
cemetery.
that?
Ball field?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I think to Todd's point, I think
It is, but
somebody
that
told me.
doesn't
one
mean
time
we can
when
use it.
Seminole
That's
runs
the
out space here,
problem.
they're gonna be rolling
Wish we
down.
could.
So.
We wanted to be buried next to this.
Bakersfield Junior, I guess, I don't know.
There's saw that field years ago, and then the past few years I've been mowing it, just keeping it tidied up. And from the top, I just looked down, I was like, what a great spot for a little pavilion. Right in the middle, we could have kind of like what Fairfield does. We give money to Fairfield every year. Maybe not.
Little events.
You could have a flea market, you'd have a yard sale, you could have little concerts. It would coincide with the fireworks. I mean, it's just,
Challenges.
Down there.
you know, because every,
It's the same problem Rosalie has. It's too far off 108.
it's-
Rosalie, we did a farmer's market, I'll call it, or craft or whatever, a mix thereof. 2 years ago, I think
Mhm.
Sue Ann, my fiance, did it 3 years ago. And it's very difficult getting any kind of foot traffic because they got to come down and we put signs everywhere. Arrows, turn here, turn there, and still the comments people had is we couldn't find it's too far off the main road.
yeah.
So, I mean, green, right here,
Well, I mean,
great
there's,
place to do it.
it's so close, you know, like I just, because my son plays in a band and play music, and I was like, oh, that's such a cool spot because you could sit on the hill and just.
It amazes me how people are like, I can't see it. It's not within my purview, but all right. Yeah, I think Todd, I don't know if you want to do it tonight, promotion in, or do we want to wait until we have the board, the rest of the
Wait till
board
the
here?
rest, but I just think we should survey the lot, just to know what we have if we're trying to use this lot. If we're looking at that lot, then we know those over off Egypt Road, we know what
Okay.
that is.
Like what lot we can.
And that would, go ahead. Sorry.
We're getting a survey done of this anyway.
This,
I understand in cahoots with the Historical Society and the church is in.
maybe we do the town garage as part of that,
Yeah, I mean,
add it to it.
as far as I understand, everybody's on board. I don't know,
Just,
I think Lance.
Maybe I
is-
Just it makes sense to know what our footprint is.
Yeah.
And then it helps us decide
I
where
think
we
that's a
want
check.
to put the building.
uh,
Maybe moving the sand pile. I'm just saying,
let,
to get whatever we want to get, where's the best way to lay that piece of property out?
well, whatever we do, I still, as I said last year, the problem, the challenge we have with people helping themselves to the supplies that are readily available from the side of the
Maybe
road.
fence, once we know what it is, we can fence it in.
Fence. We need to really, and it's no offense to anybody, you know, someone coming to ask for a bucket, but when I talk of a bucket, I'm talking a pail, not a bucket loader.
Yeah.
Right, multiple times.
Coming with bucket loaders and take it, no, that's not right, because I pay my taxes. Yeah, but your taxes don't cover everything that you think they do, and everyone paid for that pile of sand.
And Brian and I, we put up, I think what they usually do. I stopped counting after 135 loads of sand because it was so dry last fall. And I was Brian, let's just keep screwing. It's not going to go bad, you know. We use it. And dry. A few months ago, I was looking at our sand pile. I'm like, boy, we didn't have enough. And if there's anybody that had questioned, we didn't put no sand down on these roads.
Yeah.
Look behind there.
Yeah.
Like they used a lot of sand.
No, and I get it.
So it's like,
Folks are taking the sand and I get that too. And I know when I moved here, someone told me, because I called to have, I had a problem with my drive and I said, hey, can I buy some sand? And they said, oh, no, you can come over and pick up some sand, you know, bucket or two. And I'm thinking, 5 pounds, I got 1,000-yard driveway. That's 2 buckets at a time. I wasn't realizing maybe they thought I was talking about coming over with a tractor and,
Oh.
you know, no, I would never do that because it's not right, in my opinion. But, all right,
I have just something.
yeah.
yes.
My brother was on Jericho Select Board a long time ago. He was aware of Cambridge bought into a state garage template. And so I was inquiring it, and when I went to the training for Selectboard or something, I think. I met somebody from Cambridge and I haven't followed up with her yet, just to get that contact for you to call them and say, hey, what's this with this? Tell me about this template you used. And my brother.
They're pretty much the same, yeah, each state garage is built the same, it's a steel building. Yeah,
Bays.
they have a template that they
Yeah,
use.
yeah.
It's kind of, you know, gives you an idea.
Start.
Right.
Someone out of the Berry office, probably, that's where they're all their developed, that's where they're big engineers.
And just having a little bit of a good flow and adequate lighting, we'd be happy. It's like, we'd be happy with that, you know, it's tough.
Cambridge has about 1, 2, 3, I think 4 bays on there.
It's Fairfield have, because they have a really nice.
And then, but the other thing we have to consider is
Really nice car.
we're gonna get pushed pretty quick to have a building for the sand.
Yes.
Because sand is silica, it's a cancer
Yeah.
causing agent, so that's why you pay tier 2 fees. We don't
Yeah.
have to as a town, but that's why other people pay tier 2 fees is because of that. So they've been pushing towns to get their buildings, that's why a lot of them use the blocks with just.
Right, the clouds over the top.
Bakersfield did, yep.
Cover it.
Yeah.
You mean with a door on it so people couldn't take?
It just,
Shit, they have a gate, some
Yeah.
put gates on them like farm gates so that you can't get inside with them.
it's more or less to keep fit, so there's no erosion.
And the wind can't blow the sand.
Right.
Sand it causes.
Yeah. Berkshire's done it,
Yep.
Fairfield's done it.
to me.
So that's where, if we were at the other location,
Yes.
we'd have the adequate space for it,
Yes, and
you know,
that's why I say that's a good thought, yeah.
right?
Yep.
Perfect.
It's kind of out of sight, out of mind
Yep.
type of thing.
Jamie, can you keep the future town garage on the roads for us and just put a caveat to that saying, you know, survey, /survey, so we know this next meeting in 2 weeks when I think of it, I know what it is.
I think so.
You fill out all the forms
Mhm.
Tammy sent you?
I believe so.
Al says he's got it under control, so I think
No
we
updates
can
on
remove it.
police
Yeah, go ahead.
contracts, no update on police contracts.
Yeah, you know, the problem with the police contracts, honestly, is the challenge, you know, I just don't think, except for Enosburg talking about
It's-
making a force, we don't have any
November,
options.
you'll get a new sheriff, and I think we can then work together on that.
Okay. We've already talked about Green Up Day, I believe, right? We beat that horse to death. Okay. Discussion on new truck payments. Al's paying it out of his paycheck.
Sure.
What is the discussion of new truck payments?
We discuss it. At one time we did, we thought maybe pay it outright. I think that's,
You're talking
are you
about
talking about the new?
equipment fund?
Sorry,
I don't know. I didn't put
I
that.
don't
I'm
know.
just asking what it's about. I don't remember it being there.
Lance would know, I don't remember off the top.
We're
of
gonna
my head.
table that for Lance next meeting.
I mean, we're gonna make the payments out of the fund, the replacement fund is my
Yeah.
understanding. That was the
That
down
will pay-
payment, payment, and then the payments would be made
To the
through
fund.
the regular funds, yeah.
Yeah, because I think Lance mentioned something about just.
I think we're dividing it, right? If
We're talking about maybe
some on the 1 ton and some on the
Yeah.
new truck,
We
right?
talked about paying the baby dump off or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what we touched. Let's
Yeah.
do that for Lance.
Yep.
Because that isn't even available yet, right?
Um,
No ETA.
Hopefully, a couple of weeks, I don't know. It's one of those things.
Update on MERP. I have to fill out the quarterly report due in 3 days. However, I have questions for the library. I emailed them because they sent me an amount and didn't explain what it was for. So I'm not exactly sure where like $9,000 was used, and I need to know what it was used on. They just sent me a dollar
Okay.
amount. Warrants and reports we've kind of gone through. Did anyone have any questions on
The
those?
tree warden thing,
The tree warden thing?
that's been done. Country club liquor license is done.
We have signing, we got some signings, papers
Yeah.
to sign. I'll start with you. There you go. Brigham Academy update. Since Lance isn't here, there's no update. We've rolled through the mail. I'll steal that mail for you. Thank you. Yeah, we had upcoming community revitalization retreat. I thought we had already talked about this the prior meeting. Somebody wanted to go. There was an invitation for Preservation Trust. We had some interest in attending the event. It was sent by Alex originally. The event is May 20th, May 19th and 20th at the Grafton Inn, which I cannot attend, but if anybody's interested, this will be in the, we've already read it once, twice file. What's this about? I don't think we're gonna touch on that.
I think that's is it the road access permit? Yeah,
This isn't a repeat? It looks like a repeat. Or under road for municipal water.
that's I went and looked at it. It's on the avenue.
I thought it was.
It looks okay. He's really crashing his neighbor and the neighbor's aware of it. So it, you know,
Or. But this is access, this is.
road access, driveway access.
But I feel like I already signed this. Yes.
No, that's,
Yeah, this is.
It was received on the 8th. It's
yeah. That's, unless you guys signed it, I didn't.
we signed a bunch of them, but I think a lot of them were.
No, this should be in.
I put a bid on that.
Oh, well, there you have it. Thank you, sir.
You might already sign it. That's the only one that I had. That I,
So you don't have a signed copy is what you're saying?
No.
So we have to sign it
All right.
again.
yeah.
You got a second shot. Vermont statutes online. Statutes below include actions of the 2025 general session of the General Assembly. This is regarding Title 24 Municipal and County Government, Chapter 117 Municipal and Regional Planning Development. I believe this is the DRB we
Yeah,
talked about.
It is,
Yeah.
it is.
How did this make this back in the new mail?
Elected or appointed, DRBs are appointed.
Mhm.
Right? Appointed by the select board?
Yeah.
There was a amount of members. We talked about that the other day, which was 5. 5. Right.
The elected should have to go before the town.
So
Members on planning commissions. You have to do a.
Planning commission with the DRB.
well, the planning commission, because they're doing the town plan, we need them for the town plan. But they're going to meet, they're going to meet
That makes
as needed basis. However, because they are preparing for the town plan, they're going to meet more often.
There's
right
5
now.
members currently, right?
When they were pretty much all here, I think we have a 5th open seat,
Yeah.
but it's a 5-member board. We have a seat open. Are you interested?
No,
Todd says he's interested. I'm always willing to volunteer other people. But
Yeah.
seriously. Mhm.
I
So-
probably saw it, but I don't, yeah. Okay,
So this is all redundant. We've already taken.
Where are we in the process then? Do we need to
Well,
take action to,
It's all trash, but
to,
Action. There's a schedule for June first. It's gotta be just. Is now
You just-
as soon as they're created, which you created them.
we did, okay.
last meeting,
So.
you did do it last meeting.
yeah.
Okay, no, that's.
No, this is yours to
Who's
see.
the members?
It's the planning commission right now.
The DRB?
Well, they're gonna shift it around, but we don't have anyone right now.
Hmm.
Okay, so they've
Right.
been established, they are ramping up.
Yeah, and the
Right.
terms have been established before.
We said that we would coincide the terms of the planning commission. Actually, we need that back, Todd.
Oh, we
I was
do.
giving that to look at. Okay, so here's the deal. I called Kathy regarding the printer situation, which is what Todd has in his hands to get an opportunity to see that. So.
It's the
the
same thing
current
we
print-
do at the fire station.
Yeah, the current printer is, and the lease is coming up.
Yep.
I wasn't sure why we didn't just buy out and hold on to the printer, but I get it. It's 5 years old. I don't know how many clicks we have on it, yada, yada, yada. The printer was costing us just under $146 a month.
Right.
The new plan is if you go with the similar model, upgraded black and white, you get unlimited clicks.
Yeah,
You get service, travel, everything else, all in one price, $140.58 a month, which is $5 less a month.
right.
If we opt to go to the color model, which someone may want,
Right.
but I did ask Kathy if she felt there was a need for the color model, and she said, honestly, she doesn't see a great need for a color printer. However, if we decide to go the route of the color printer, it will be just around $14 more a month than the black and white.
154.
154.32. The other differentiation in there, though, is the color printer comes with clicks. So you get so many free prints on it. And then after black and white, so black and white, you get 3,000 clicks or prints. I'm sorry, I used to work for Xerox.
We do the.
I'm looking at the monthly
We
maintenance
do it at
plan,
the office.
right? And then it costs like a penny for every page you print. If you print color, though, if you print color, it's 7 cents a page. You get 500 pages, but after those 500, it's 7 cents a page. Now, if you're printing 11 by 17, that's considered 2 clicks.
Oh.
Also, I believe back to back will be considered 2 clicks. The other thing is, as I know for a fact, is with color printers, what happens is if you have one dot of color on that paper, one someone puts a blue pen point there and you copy it, the whole thing's done in color.
Yep.
It takes all 3 colors to make black and white. It just makes the colors. I'm not going to say we can't go with color. I can say that I know what my thought process is with this, and I know that I'll probably be beaten up in the parking lot, but you know what? That's what it is. My thing is, after talking with Kathy, I didn't really feel that we had a great need for color. However, I will allow, obviously, Tammy to voice her color concerns and or needs. Oh, boy. Sure. How many pages you go through it? Though it's the question for your ink. That's the concern is
That's a concern is the.
how much it's gonna cost us printing in black and white.
There's 7, how many are free? Free.
500 free color. I'm assuming,
Month?
I think it says. See, the problem is it says monthly maintenance
You're
plan.
not gonna. Kind of demand.
Okay, well, what's the main?
What?
Paying you.
The concern is, so people come in and they copy stuff, you got 5 different groups in here, 6 different groups, people don't pay attention, they're printing things up.
If you run out of color, you can't do black and white copies. I don't think on some of these. That's why you gotta.
I don't know. I gotta be honest, I don't know that. I have new ones.
Back at the office is separate from the CYM.
Yeah.
Yeah, CYRB or cyan, yellow, blue.
Also leased,
Is it-
also it is,
It enhances everything. You know, like, when you want to.
I just think it's money and expense. We could spend the
Well-
money somewhere else. Not $14 a month, though. It's not gonna break us, but.
It's gonna come out of their budget, whoever wants to print the.
Yeah, I can tell you Kathy said she doesn't need a color printer.
yeah.
But
Is
who
it your
wants it? Well, I'm
habit
saying
that
if
people
it's-
come in and,
If it's
Yeah.
the listers that want it, then the listers budget would show. Right?
So when people come in, they can't print color.
Good, they don't need color. We're not the local Kinkos. Sorry. Yeah,
Who are they printing it for, though? Is it?
what are
for
they,
you?
what are you printing? It like, what's your, how does it help? Okay.
A lot of newsletters will have, you know, links and things and things highlighted for our attention. It's just,
I'm with you.
I don't think we need, I'm with Kathy. I'm just going off of the town clerk's.
sides.
I don't know why you're printing in color for things that, frankly, your color printer sounds wonderful, but to see links that you can't click on in blue, I don't understand what you're needing in blue.
Things like.
I'm trying to upset you.
And there's all these things, they're not links that you would click on, they're like highlighted for your attention and drawn all
When you
over.
print it out, you lose all that.
Yeah, you lose all those.
Clues.
Everybody's to each other.
I don't know. Like I said, I asked Kathy. That's all I could say. I asked Kathy and she said she didn't feel that you guys needed color. Oh, now you're talking a ton of money. Now you're talking 6 cents a click to put something. Yeah, I'm for black and white. Everybody can have their own opinion and I'll gladly go with the consensus, but I would say I would lean towards black and white. Just because we don't know people.
A year, so 14 times.
The $14 isn't the problem. It's the 6 seconds a click when you exceed the 500 clicks.
I can't figure that we're that
I don't-
busy
Not an annual.
a month, right?
No.
That's 500 clicks per month.
It
That's
doesn't really say.
That's-
I'm assuming it's per month,
Yeah.
but we went from a couple pages.
Here would make sense for any business or municipality or anything, it would only make sense.
Unless it's me coming in for deeds and stuff.
Yeah.
See, this is the things like,
I go 40 years.
yeah, and it's a copy or people could throw a thing on there. You want to,
Well, we do black and white at the fire station just because it's unlimited.
yeah, you just print whatever you need. They covered it and
They send us the supplies.
it's unlimited images, unlimited supplies.
Is it unlimited for the color as far as, are they sending you the supplies or you buying the?
It says the monthly maintenance plan includes the monitoring, the toner, which is the ink, parts, labor, and travel. They definitely call out 11x17 being 2 pages. Connectivity support includes connectivity training, driver updates, software updates, and loading new drivers. I think if we have a separate color printer and they need a color printer, just use that color printer and have this black and white. That's my personal opinion.
You have
But-
a color inkjet right now? It's just okay.
And they burn up a lot of ink, is what you're saying.
Mhm.
How much is ink?
But that's different than a big printer like that.
Ink is ink, though. I mean, if you're using a lot of ink, you're using a lot of ink. It's pages I'm worried about, not. They cover, if you can use a whole toner cartridge on 1 page, that's fine by me, because they cover it. It's how many pages you're doing. And once you put color out there, everybody's going to want to print in color.
I could find out. I don't know. But I just did the meter or 11,000 pages after 4 years.
See, my thing, I didn't even know why we needed a new one, to be honest, just continue, but I don't know how many clicks are on this, who knows? But long and short, we could sit here all night and debate it. I mean, if you want to follow up, we don't have to give an answer tonight. You can find out have Kathy give us a report on how many clicks are on that machine. And then, of course, is this color 500 pages a month or 500 pages a year or a quarter or whatever, and we can make a more informed decision. Because right now, like I said,
And will it save you money on the ink for the Epson?
Save us money on.
Because those are pretty,
Now, when I was.
would save in paper.
Saying for the pages, so
Right,
it's
right,
on
right.
one piece of paper,
We're still
not.
paying.
Put it on both sides. No, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
Just one.
right.
Still one.
No, but I'm just saying that goes back to his thing with the number of clicks too. So,
Yeah, oh no, actually, the black and white printer says it also includes, so the black and white printer includes
gotta keep them moving out.
wiring, toner, parts, staples, which means that puppy has a stapler at least, labor and travel.
Yeah, it's gotta
Connectivity,
have
update
things.
software, loading new drivers, so.
All right, we'll deal with that next time. She got to get us some more information.
Yep.
Sure. Well, I'm at the end of the stuff, so is there any others?
What are we supposed to, what are we
So-
supposed to do with this? Yes, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. So I didn't, is this the other thing that was in papers to sign?
Yeah, that was the one.
So this business is, like we've done in prior years, Vermont Swiss and Bloom Farm is the company that, uses Mark LaRoche's, liquor
Oh, yes,
license.
yes.
And they want to know if, Kathy wanted to know if we were willing to agree to extend that same service that we have in the past. It's just a,
I don't have a problem with
yeah,
that.
we're okay with yes. Tammy, we're okay with yes on that.
Do you have to sign it or
We
anything?
need-
No, it's all done on a portal, but and frankly, Kathy lets us know as a courtesy because we asked her to,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she doesn't have to. And then this is yet another, access request.
On the avenue. We talked about it last time where
Avenue?
the driveway was sort of encroaching on the other one and there'd be a hole.
We talked about it.
Oh, is this the one that's up the road from me there on the right? They're what's staked out where they got the orange stakes? Yeah.
I'm sure.
I think it's a little close to the neighbor, but. Not my, I mean,
Yeah.
The setback, if it's if it's not violating the setback, what do we get to do?
I think Brian said that had.
It's supposed to be something like that, yeah, yeah. Although mine's 3 feet.
Right. All right, are there any others?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
Motion's been made and it's seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
The meeting's adjourned at 9:52. Oh, my God.
The wire.